The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, you guys can see we got a special guest here today. The real A side, the real cash cow of True School Sports. It's the one, it's the only, it's Pops.
Welcome to School Sports.
Welcome back, guys. I know I didn't go live yesterday, right? I hit a bit of a wall. Not gonna lie to you
Yeah.
guys. Been working pretty hard this month, but I know I could do better.
Yeah.
But listen, we here again, still showing you guys that consistency. Well, we are live a little bit later because it is the weekend, so we do understand that some of you guys are not out. Some of you guys will stay up later. And I did watch the MVP card tonight. He had Daniel Bailey versus John Paul Rivera. Unfortunately, our boy from South Florida didn't get it done, but it is what it is. Congrats to John Paul
Hey.
Rivera on a good victory.
He can sue me if I talk bad about him, Jake Paul.
Yeah, so Pops, I wanna really let's warn
Okay.
Pops in the chat. Let's all warn my dad. Yeah, if you talk bad about Jake Paul in any way, they might see this stream. They might tell Nakisa, or we might get hit with a cease and desist letter. We might get a lawsuit. So yes, they will.
Even if
You
even if
talk bad about Jake Paul,
even if you have
you
an
get
opinion,
sued.
even if you have an opinion.
You say any disparaging remarks that damages his brand, you get sued because they said
Well, it's
they
act-
said they
it's
said
actually a great brand because he's in Puerto Rico. The Serranos live up there, Serrano.
Yep.
So I think it's great what I'm going to say about this.
about the card tonight.
About the car.
How about Tank versus Jake Paul? You got good things to say about that?
But let me just get back to what I'm saying about Serrano and MVP promotions and Jake Paul. And this goes along with it, okay? I'm not gonna get sued because in America, I got my own opinion, okay? I feel that tonight, I got a feeling, it'll probably come out a few weeks from now, or probably months or years. I'm sorry, guys, to tell you.
Oh no! Oh, I know where he's going. Hold on, guys. Listen,
allowed to say
listen really good for what he about to say, cause he about to say some crazy shit right here. Let him have it, Pops. Tell him how you really feel.
Listen, I know this lady says that she don't have a phone, that she don't communicate. She
You're
don't
talking about Amanda Serrano, right?
Yeah, Amanda Serrano. But man, they look too good. They look. If it looks too good to be true, I think it is true. I think Jake Paul. If we have to have a fight and I have to send a contract to you, then we have to fight about it. But I think you're banging Amanda Serrano.
Oh man, yo, you coming out the box
Yeah,
real
we'll
strong
get together.
tonight.
I just got
on
that
True
whole
School.
thing.
Let's ask the
that.
chat. So there's 14 of you guys here. Make sure you guys smash that like button so this live gets out as much as humanly possible. It is True School After Dark, everybody's favorite boxing program. Pops is out here making crazy claims. He's saying that because he sees Jake Paul and Amanda Serrano constantly together, he thinks that not right now, but years from now, it's gonna come out that it's more than just a
partnership.
business partnership.
Yeah, I
So
think it's more.
what do you guys think? I'm not saying anything because I'm not trying to get sued. But listen, what does the chat think? I see a lot of y'all laughing.
Hey, I can't get. I don't got no hair. I don't got no money in my pockets. So he ain't
Whatever.
gonna get much from me. He might just get dirty underwear. That's about it.
Hey, let's take some time to acknowledge the people that comment. Hey,
Yeah.
shout out to everybody here rocking with us. It is True School After Dark.
Yeah.
We got Jesus M in the building. He says saludos, Pops, saludos, BT.
Yeah.
TSM Harden, salute to you, champ.
Mhm.
Rebel Rico, good to see you again, champ. David Esther in the building. Giovanni Marrero. Did anybody impress me tonight? I mean, John Paul Rivera, I was trying not to be biased because Dale Bailey is my friend and, he's a South Florida guy, so I really want to see him win. I thought he would win, and he won pretty much in the fashion that I expected. So, jury's still out on him, but a good performance. I was actually very, very impressed with Corey Marksman. Very, very impressed with Corey Marksman. I've seen Corey Marksman fight a couple times on MVP.
You talking about
He fought Tony Aguilar a couple times. But the boots.
The boots
Yeah,
the
Corey
generation.
Marksman looks just like Boots. But he was really impressive tonight.
Yeah.
He fought a kid from Puerto Rico and looked really, really
Beat him
good.
good.
Beat him pretty good. So
Mhm.
I probably him. And then there was this one Brazilian dude, I think who got a big knockout of the year. I forgot his
Oh
name.
man, he knocked him. Knocked him out. That was a bad knockout, man.
We got Joel in the building. Shout out to him. He said perfect timing for the live. Yes, sir. Is that Victor Conti Jr.? JK, salute, Pops.
Yeah. You can say that. I got the glasses, I got everything, but I don't cheat.
Listen,
I keep it real here.
Victor Conti and Edmund is cool.
No.
Victor Conti ain't never had this much swag and this much drip. Victor Conti can't fuck with Pops.
That's right. Take that snack and that crap out of my face. Yeah.
He says, damn, that Bailey knockdown wasn't fake. Damn, Bailey was active. Bailey
Twice.
got clipped, and it was what it was. I wanted him to win, but I deep down I knew he probably wasn't because of the reflexes and how he fights. But yeah, BT, do you still disagree with me about Bailey? About what?
He called it out.
I never called Bailey a world champion. I mean, I like the guy, but
I think sometimes here at Choosing Sport we're a little biased. So
I'm not being biased.
Yeah.
I never came out and said
Yeah.
Bailey. No, he what he is referring to is when he fought Vasquez, he was going off about Bailey, saying that Bailey's trash and this, that, and the third.
I mean, I just see the thing over and over with Bailey that as the rounds go on, he just like doesn't throw enough punches, fight off his back foot consistently, and you can't do that when you got like tonight's fight, that pressure fighting. You got to throw more jabs, more punches. One punch is not going to win you the fight. I'm sorry.
He says Clift Bailey has no defense. Hey, I told you. Listen,
Yeah, he just-
I
yeah.
came out here. I said, look, his reflexes. He's relying too much on them. He can be slick at times. I think he sells himself short as a fighter. I don't think he really fights to his strengths. But that's neither here nor there. He lost. I ain't making no excuses for him. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody here. We got my man. We got a question here from my man. Where is it? I saw a question. Where is it? TCP says, did your pops raise you to be a boxing fan? Mine raised me on baseball, but I ended up in boxing. No, I wouldn't say like my dad raised me to be a boxing fan. I mean, he sat me in front of the TV. We watched Trinidad versus Bernard Hopkins. But we watched all kinds of sports. We watched baseball. We watched hockey. We watched basketball. We watched NFL. We watched college. We watched all kinds of
sports.
Boxing became very personal to me when I was in my adolescent
Yeah.
years. But I always loved boxing. And my dad's fun fact, right? So if any of you guys have ever seen the movie The Fighter, Mickey Ward,
Yep.
my dad's from Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yep.
My dad used to box a little bit
Western Gym.
at this gym called the Art Romalo's
Western Gym.
West End Gym in Lowell, Massachusetts, and that was the gym they used in the movie. That's where he trained at.
Board and they did all,
So
yeah.
it is what it is. Now here we go. They come out the box. Listen, Pop. They got questions upon questions for you. Make sure you smash the like button.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here for like an hour and a half, 2
Yeah.
hours. So it's gonna be premium entertainment. So make sure y'all support this premium concept. We giving y'all. We giving it to y'all free.
That's it.
Pretty much, and not free, but
You know.
you understand. We're spending our time. Hopefully you guys like it. But my man Raw Dog wants to know. Ask Pops if Zaya is Duck Virgil. So do you think Xander Zaya is Duck
No.
Virgil Ortiz?
Nope. I think.
Hey, wait. Are you being biased Puerto Rican?
No, I don't do
Okay.
that. I'm gonna say like this, I'll just see the same answer that he gave Ortiz. You've been how long? A welterweight, 154. I never really had a belt or title. 22 years old, and I already have a title. What you talking about? Where were you before? You know what shit you talking about? No, I don't think it's nothing to do with Duck. And if Virgil really wants to be technical about it, or he really wants something, he's got to prove it now because the fire's up his ass. You know what I mean? Go to Puerto Rico, go to Japan, go where you have to go and get that fucking title. It doesn't matter where you got to go. You're not the
Side?
A side here, okay? You're not a champion, okay? You're talented, but you're not a champion.
So the main talking point from people that were saying that Xander's Duck and Virgil is that Xander doesn't have a network, right? Top Rank does have a network. They're not doing shows. Well, guess what, guys? It was reported earlier today. I don't know if y'all saw this. Let me find it. I had it right here in front of me somewhere. But it was reported earlier today. Now I gotta go pull it up.
Right.
But it was reported earlier today that that Top Rank has found some footing that they are finalizing a deal. This is according to your boy Rick Glazer. He said, and I quote, "So here it is. Top Rank has landed a deal with premium cable channel Stars. 11 boxing shows a year, $1 million per show. Top Rank will retain foreign rights. I don't know how many years yet. It's a start to regrouping for Top Rank after losing the ESPN deal, but layoffs will be imminent as the deal cannot sustain Top Rank's current overhead. Great to have Stars involved in boxing." So there you go, Stars. They show a lot of movies on Stars. If they got a network now y'all can't say that y'all can't say that Xander don't got no network. You got Stars, right? And truth be told, I know DAZN's been in boxing, but do we really know what DAZN's subscriber base is? We never really get any numbers from them. They never want to reveal anything. So we shall see.
I'll say with Top Rank, they were ESPN for a long time, so I feel that after that, I think that Top Rank is gonna have wherever Top Rank goes, the fans are gonna follow them.
Yo, y'all are wilding in the chat. Y'all are wilding. My man Reverse Lee says Top Rank is broke as fuck, and then you guys say, who the fuck watches Stars? They might as well just be on AMC. Yeah, man. It is what it is.
Listen, right now they just gotta get somebody gotta put out the TV deals so they can make the money so we can see the fights.
Listen, they're gonna find their footing. Like I said, Top Rank done survived 4 or 5 different decades. They'll survive again. They'll find their footing.
Mhm.
This is just the first building block in that. But yeah, we got a super chat. Shout out to my boy Reversed with the $2 super chat. He says, honestly, this Aiden Ross boxing event is fun as fuck. Yeah, Aiden Ross. Do you know Aiden Ross? Do you know Aiden Ross? Do you even know what Aiden Ross is?
No.
So Pop. So you breaking news to Pops.
Rick Ross?
No, not Rick Ross. Aiden Ross. He's a little he's this Jewish kid streamer, really popular.
Okay.
He has an influencer boxing thing, brand risk promotions. That's the name of it. And funny enough, Teofimo Lopez actually said he wanted to fight on an Aiden Ross event, on a brand risk event. He said he wants to do the whole George Foreman thing. Like, you know, George Foreman fought 5 people in one day. He want to fight like 3-4 people in one day. He want to do that
You
shit.
can't even fight the top fighters now in one fight. What the fuck he went about fighting 3? Fuck out of here with that, motherfucker. I like Teo,
But you want to fight like he don't want to fight fighters. He want to fight influence. He'll fight like 4 or 5 influencers in a day. See, Foreman fought.
real fighters.
He fought like 4 or 5. You know,
Yeah.
not great heavyweights, but you know, some competent professionals. So it was a bit different.
Yeah.
I'll check it out, man. I'm sure my boy Hyro, when I call him later, he's gonna show me because Hyro's really into that stuff.
Man, fuck all that bullshit. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm mad with Teo too because Teo, he's from on flapping his gums just like Shakur, flapping their gums. And they don't fucking just like Boost, flapping their fucking gums and so forth and so forth. You flap your fucking gums, but you don't take action in the ring.
Yeah. Hannah Chevaux says, technically, I never called Bailey trash after Vasquez. I said he needed to revamp his entire style and keep his hands up, plus take away that shoulder. Oh, I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. If you go and you watch my post-fight review video and what I said earlier, I said, look, he relies on his reflexes too much. He has to really work on his defensive system. He's got talent. It's not being applied properly, and that's why he's getting beat in these fights. And you know, he's 29 years. He ain't young, so you know, he better tighten up soon. Otherwise, you know, it is, you know, he's not gonna get anything from his boxing career. So
Yeah, you gotta jump on it.
that's
Do
what it
now.
is. But and by the way, I texted him after the fight because he texted me earlier in the week, and I told him, I said, look, man, you gotta clean some things up, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll watch my video, he'll see what I said, you know. Haney went all the way to Australia and took less to become undisputed. What has Virgil done? Anything to demand? That's what I'm saying.
Good
Like,
point.
Virgil's fought good people, but like he's not in that position. So it's like, again, I know you're not a big Devin Haney guy. I wouldn't consider myself a massive Devin Haney fan. But look, Devin Haney went to Australia. I know you can say he fought Kambosos and who was Kambosos, and Kambosos wasn't good. But to his credit, like, he fought Kambosos when Kambosos was at a peak, you know, was at his best, and he did things that that maybe he didn't want to do, that weren't convenient to him, right? So sometimes you gotta see the bigger picture. You gotta do things you don't want to do to get what you want out of life and out of boxing.
And whether we agree with him or dislike him, I'm talking about Haney, I gotta put respect on the fact that he's still taking tough fights. I mean, he's not making excuses about this and that and blah 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 blah. He's gonna step in there with Norman. Something that this motherfucker didn't do from Philly. We won't say no name.
That's the perfect segue.
Yeah.
That's the finish it up.
Yeah, this motherfucker talking about all this shit and all this bullshit. The more they talk, the more they look like shit. Boots and his fucking cheerleading group. I hope you watch this, SYM, YMSM, whatever the fuck your name is. God bless you, no disrespect. I'm just angry. The more you guys talk, the more the shit gets bigger and bigger. So I gotta give props. And I've always told my son since I've been alive, I've always been a big fan of the Haneys.
You don't like the you may like Bill. You don't like Devin.
I know.
You don't like Devin.
So,
but somebody had mentioned. So look, I'm sure we're gonna get a funny response here. My man TCP says, "Are you and Pops making the trip to see Lima versus Boots in Philly?"
I'm not gonna go see shit. If I go there, I'm gonna just smear shit all over Philadelphia about Boots. Just talk shit to him, right to him. I know when I go back to Philly, they're not gonna want me in that gym. They're not gonna want me in that gym. But you know what? I call it the way I call it. Pops is crazy. That's who I am, and I'm not afraid to say what I have to say.
I'm gonna answer the question for myself now. Forget that fight. I'm not really trying to go nowhere the rest of the year. I've been telling y'all that. Don't ask me about none of these fights the rest of the year. I'm gonna stay where I'm at for the rest of the year. And you know, there's not really any fights that are gonna get me to leave, you know, where I'm at right now. So once, maybe I might have some business to handle in Japan later on in the year or early next year, but that's neither here nor there. Until maybe that, or I'm not even gonna leave where I'm at for Angelo Leo when he has the next fight. I'll be right here. So it is what
I
it is.
mean, that's the last fight I want to see. In person.
What fight? Okay, if you had it your way on the schedule right now for the rest of 2025, if you could go to one fight in person, which fight would you go to in person?
I mean, right now, let's see. No, I'm Norman.
You got Virgil versus Lubin. You got
That's a good fight.
Norman versus Haney. That's in Saudi. Would you go to Saudi?
No, I won't go to fucking Saudi. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a good fight. If it was here in the U.S., I would love to see. Even though it's from the Saudi, the Yardi,
Benavidez, that's a good fight.
That's a
It's a
real
good
good fight that I really want to see. I really don't care, believe it or not.
There's not a lot of fights right now.
Like, I mean, people say I might
What
be
about
crazy.
Crawford Canelo?
I was just gonna say, I don't give two fucks about that. That's to me, that's been washed.
Would
up.
you go to Inoue versus MJ if you could right now?
Yeah, I'll go see that
That's a good fight.
because
I will go to
two
that fight just
two
'cause it's in
young guys
Nagoya.
coming up, and we've seen it's not being milked away or whatever you call it. You don't get tired. Because people want to see that, but Crawford.
Mooney's Gamble says, do you think Omar Trinidad is ready for that Angelo Leo smoke after Omar's last performance? Because I saw Omar is ranked the highest in the rankings for IBF featherweights. Listen, Omar's a nice guy. He followed me on Instagram because I made a nice video about him when he was when I first found out who he was. Listen, man, he ain't ready. Like, I don't think there's anything Omar could do to be ready for that fight. He's not ready for that fight. He's just not on that level. He don't got that type of skill set.
Mm-hmm.
That fight wouldn't even go past the 7th round. They fought. He would get the brakes beaten off of him. I think Tom Loeffler should just keep him fighting on UFC Fight Pass in these winnable fights. Because if you step him up anymore, he's gonna wind up losing. That's just the truth. But that's not really a slight on him. There's only like a handful of guys at featherweight I really could see giving Angelo like a tough fight or having a chance to beat him. He's just not on that level. He needs a lot of work, and I think Tom Loeffler and them gotta be real creative with how they move him, because like I said, his skill level ain't the highest, and he almost lost that last fight to a guy who came up from 122 that wasn't supposed to beat him, right? And a lot of people thought he lost that fight. So I don't, best of luck to him, but I don't see it. They said Pops gives it to you straight, no chase. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta listen. Y'all got him here. Y'all always ask about him.
I'm just like frustrated because and like I don't want to burn this thing that has already been burned enough with the boost thing, but I'm just pissed off because I thought this guy was gonna be something or be somebody, and I know he's had bad management and management passed away and blah 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 blah. But excuses are for women. You know what I mean? Stand up and go in the ring and just do what you're supposed to do. That goes for him. That goes for fucking Teofimo, fucking too. With how he's going with just talking. Shakur, another motherfucker just talking. I'm tired of these fighters just talking.
Trini BX says, what do you think about Zayas giving Darrell Valzane a shot at the belt in Puerto Rico this December? Now look, theoretically, if they did that fight, I would love that fight. I think Darrell Valzane is an awesome young fighter. But there's no way in hell, I'm telling y'all right now, there's no way in hell, with Peter Kahn knowing what he knows about boxing, that's going to be his first fight. There's been a lot of talk about Giovanni Santillan being the next opponent. That's probably more what I think. What do you think about that fight? Because Giovanni Santillan's a welterweight, he's coming up to 54, but he's a big welterweight.
Big guy, and he can crack. I mean, yeah, he got his ass whipped the last fight, but I mean, I think that would be a challenge for somewhat for Zayas. I don't know how.
You think it's like a trap fight, like?
I'm just not gonna go in that fight. I would highly grade. I like what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he got his ass kicked in the last fight, and I think he cracked. So can the style of Zayas do this for this guy? This guy's big too.
He throws a lot of punches. He's physically strong. Like people like to downplay that win that Norman had over Santillan, but he was physically, like very physically imposing. Norman had to punch him with all his might to get him off because that's how physically strong he was. And if you don't go back and you don't rewatch that fight, you won't even realize it. But he says Santillan is ranked now number 9 in the WBO. Shit, BT shit is getting crazy. I think it's happening. I think it's happening. It's not a fight that like I really want to see. Like I didn't see, and I never thought in my wildest dreams, hey, let's do Xander versus
You can't get mad at that when you got a Barrios and get all kinds of fights. What I'm getting at.
Mario Barrios?
Yeah,
he just won the belt. He's like 22 years old. Yeah. I'm okay with him for at least his first defense. Like I feel like every fighter, for their first defense, they can get a cupcake opponent for their first defense. And not every fight has to be a killer, because there are other fighters that need opportunities in boxing. And how many times have we seen it in boxing where these fights where we don't think the opponent is shit proves out to be like a lot better than we thought.
Yeah.
Look at like Tank and Lamont Roach. That was supposed to be a tune-up fight, and it went wrong, right? And it actually kind of made things. It made it hard to get to this Jake Paul fight that they wanted to do right away. So
You say you think highly of Kyle Morton. I don't think highly of him.
hold
And
on. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Let's stay on topic, Pops.
Okay.
We got comments. They want to know, or David says, super chat, he
Yeah.
says, Virgil Ortiz and Lubin is an okay fight. It's okay. I think people, before I get my opinion, Pops, what do you think about Virgil versus Lubin? You like that fight? What kind of chance you give Lubin?
I think at this time, and point in time, Virgil's gonna have to fight somebody to justify and say he fought somebody, not for who he wanted to fight, but he got this fight. Lubin, to me, he was good, this and that. He looked good last fight, but I think Virgil can beat him.
Nah.
I
I think Virgil will beat him,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say something that a lot of people may not like. I don't think it's a competitive fight.
Right.
I really don't.
But-
The reason why I don't think it's a competitive fight is because I think Lubin lacks durability. He ain't lacking skills. He ain't lacking heart. I give Lubin credit. He's one of the more skilled 154 pounders out there. But I just think, Virgil's power jab, which is one of the best in the business, is going to give him a lot of problems. I don't think he had the volume or the conditioning of a guy like Boachuk. So I think, for about 4 or 5 rounds, it'll probably be a good fight. But around round 6, 7, 8, there's going to be there's going to be a pretty good separation in class. And I'm going to tell you like this, guys. I'm saying it right now in advance so that when the fight happens, if you see me talking a certain way, you don't get surprised. I expect Virgil. I expect Virgil to go out here and run right through Lubin. And if he don't run right through Lubin, I don't want to hear nothing about Xander.
Do you expect?
I don't want to hear nothing about him fighting Xander.
Do you expect him, Virgil, to do the same damage that Charlo did to Lubin when he knocked him out that one time?
Well, he got caught with a good shot,
Okay,
and that can happen to anybody.
Okay.
But I just didn't look when you factor in because Lubin's been in some fights. The Fundora fight, that's damage right there.
But
The Charlo fight got stopped in that fight. That's some damage right there as well. And then he had a couple tough fights there. Really, I'm gonna say it like this: he fought Jesus Ramos, right?
mhm,
I don't think Lubin beat Ramos.
right.
I think Ramos outboxed
Yeah,
him and
that was
outworked
crazy.
him and,
Yeah,
and got
okay,
and got
call.
screwed.
Yeah.
Right, Lubin is good, right? Like I'm not taking nothing from him. I give him credit because I'm consistent about boxing.
He's average, a little bit more than average.
He's an above average fighter.
Mhm.
I give fighters anyone who steps up to the plate on a consistent basis, I will give them their credit. Now this is a bit of a unique scenario because Lubin could have fought for a world title. He chose not to, but he's still fighting a really good fighter in Virgil. So I got mixed feelings about it. But this is a guy that in his career, when presented with opportunities to step to the plate, he does it. So guess what? I gotta respect Lubin. I gotta give him his just due. But I do like if you go and you watch, and I'm not just judging him off of his last fight against what's his name, Adriel Holmes, but also his fight against Jesus Ramos. I think Lubin's best boxing is behind him, and I feel like if Virgil is what I think he is as a fighter, he should have some trouble for about 4.5 to 5 rounds, and by around 6, 7, there should be a separation in class. If he is who I think he is.
He got right hand that he got a beautiful right.
It's his jab, and I think it's his jab and his patience and his poise.
Right.
I feel like that will open up the
I
big
think
the
it'll
big
push him
shots.
back.
And he's not he's not really the most durable guy in the world if we're being honest.
No.
Somebody asked me would I pick Xander Zayas to beat Eric Lubin? Yes, and I would pick him to beat Eric Lubin easily.
No disrespect.
No disrespect, but a lot of people like to hype up Eric Lubin, right? Like he's this world championship fighter. He is not that. He's a good fighter. He's a high level contender, but we've seen it plenty of times. Like he stepped up. He lost to Charlo. He stepped up. He lost to Fundora.
Right.
He stepped up. He got the win on paper, but most people thought he lost to Ramos. I thought he lost to Ramos,
Yeah,
right?
that was crazy.
So my thing is, Lubin is good, but sometimes people gotta accept things. Like, look, I just watched my boy Daniel Bailey get chopped up on the zone, and if you don't change his style and if you don't improve quite fast, he's not gonna really. He's not like right now. He's proven not once, not twice, not 3 times that he's not on that level. So he needs to go make some serious adjustments and improvements if he wants to get to a certain level in the boxing. And it's the same thing with Lubin. Like Lubin is good. Lubin has some traits that you look at him, you think, man, that guy could be a world champion. But when it's come time to get over the hump in them big fights in his career, he has not got over the hump, and I don't think that's gonna change. I feel like, you know, if Virgil is who I think he is, Virgil Ortiz should get him out of there inside of 10 rounds.
Yeah, Virgil's coming to prove a statement, believe it or not. That's what he's coming to do because now I got all these, like you said, but then eventually you said all these young guys coming up are going to pass some of these guys out. This is what happened with Zayas. How many times, I know Virgil got hurt or he was sick or whatever. I understand all that, but he's had, Golden Boy had more than enough opportunity to put him in good fights and they didn't do what they were supposed to do it.
They want to know, do I think that that Lubin has a better chance against Ortiz or Bakram? Personally, believe it or not, I actually thought he had a better chance against Bakram. I don't know. I would make him. I'll make him the underdog in both fights, but I would say
I would too.
we don't really know how good Bakram is. Like we know Bakram is strong. We know that he can punch through the target. You know, he ticks some boxes in those regards. But I think with Lubin's speed, I think with Lubin's ability to his experience, his toughness, I feel like, you know what, maybe he might have some answers for Bakram in that fight. You know, Bakram hasn't really fought too many guys on that level because I would actually consider Lubin to be, based on what I've seen, you know, on a slightly higher level than Tim Tszyu. So I feel like I don't know. I don't really favor him against any of those guys. I think he's a bit outgunned in the punch power department with both guys. But Bakram hasn't really been pushed, and I feel like Lubin could push Bakram a bit more. See, Virgil's been in there with Boachuk. He's been in there with Madrimov. He's been in there with some top guys, and they pushed him. So I think yeah, man. I think from a management standpoint, they made the wrong move. They made the wrong move fighting Virgil because sure, they're gonna get some money out of it, but again, if you're thinking about just the money, if you really believe in your fighter, right? If you think your fighter is good enough to get over the hump in the world title fight, the correct move in this scenario is, hey, fight Bakram, get that world title, because for 99.9% of fighters, the bargaining chip is the world title. You win the world title, it puts you in a different tax bracket. So from what I'm seeing from a matchmaking standpoint, I don't really think Lubin's people, and I'm talking about Pro Box, I'm talking about his trainers, his coaches, I don't think they really believe he can win the world title. Because if you really think you can win the world title and you get the opportunity served up on a platter, you take the opportunity. You know?
I think the owner from Pro Box, they were good friends or something. That's why he aligned with them too. We're talking about Lubin.
Yeah. No, for sure. A lot of you guys say that Ortiz is gonna put Lubin into retirement. It's possible.
I think so. I think he has more reason now with what's going on with his eyes, and he wants to prove that he's still that, he's still that big guy that was at 147, and now more so now. So yeah.
Shout out to my man right here. He says, BTU and Pops should visit the Philippines and watch local boxing fights. You'll enjoy. Yeah, I mean, it's on the list, man. It's on the list. We'll get to it eventually. You know, he has to go get. Listen.
You just tell me tonight.
I wish there was more people here, so more you could hear this, because I get these questions from people. They say, BT, how come you never take your Pops student to Japan? And I want to let everyone know, and I want him to tell you guys, it's not on me.
No,
it's on him.
No,
he got to go get his passport.
I got to fly to Puerto Rico and clarify my passport for that. I was adopted, and my adoption never sent my paperwork to Puerto Rico. So basically, I'm not even a Puerto Rican if you think about it.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah. So I gotta go there and show proof of my adoption, my legal name, and so I can get the passport. But
so yeah, I mean, I was telling him today, right? Like I'm not gonna speak too much on this, but I have something very big in the works that involves Japan, right? And I would like him to be there for it. And I said, hey man, if this winds up happening, I need you there in Japan with me to experience this. This is gonna be the biggest thing in my life as being involved in boxing. And so I said, please, let's go get your passport before Christmas at least, So, yeah. But anyway, am I ready for the Inoue fight? I'm always ready for Inoue to fight. That's one of my favorite fighters. That's one of the fighters in boxing that's must-see TV. That's one of the fighters that keeps my love for the sport alive. So of course, he's a big part of this channel's history. So of course, I'm ready for the Inoue fight. And for the first time since Luis Neri, he's fighting someone that I believe is gonna present real danger to him in Merjan.
You think that?
Yeah, Berto can punch. Murtaugh can punch it. In a way, sparring all these dudes. Like, he's sparring. His training camp looks hard. I mean, your training camps at the level are supposed to be hard. But I'm saying,
This one,
he's sparring a lot of guys.
he's pulling
So
all the punches.
he made it. I don't know. They need to watch him because I'm a little bit.
I think
I'm a bit scared he might be overtrained for this fight.
Yeah, you always say that. Sometimes they overtrain the fighters for. Well, you have to be ready at all costs because it's gonna be tested. And if he can't get through Bergeron, then we don't know if we're gonna have a Nakatani fight.
Yeah. My man right here wants to know TSN. Oh no, it's he says BT. Have you ever stepped foot inside the ring any amateur back in the past? No, I never competed as an amateur. I picked up boxing very very late. I think the first time I walked into a boxing gym I was 18. I didn't spar until I was about 19. So I didn't really have any ambitions as far as like competing in the amateurs. I told you guys a story on my last live of how boxing found me. I was in Texas. I was a young man. I got really low about some things in life. I had some suicidal thoughts. So going to the boxing gym was never supposed to be about turning pro or going to the amateurs. It was really just, I was really fighting for my life. Like literally, like just for my mental sanity and clarity. I sparred some local pros, guys like that, but nah. Plus, I feel like through the years, like going to all these gyms, being around these different fighters, learning about the business, being around guys like Angelo, being around like other fighters I know who are prospects, seeing fighters get exploited. Yeah, seeing fighters get exploited. I always felt like somehow I was gonna wind up working in boxing, so there's some things happening now where like I'm starting to work with some fighters, and I really feel like I can't really talk about it right now because it's not official, but there's a fighter in particular I'm working with, and I can't wait till things get finalized, so I can talk about it, because there's a fighter that we're gonna be helping out here, and we're gonna go get this world title. I cannot wait to talk about it.
He's not talking about Angelo Leo.
And I'm not talking about Angelo Leo.
Yeah.
He says you can still do masters boxing. It's always there. I know plenty of dudes in their 40s, 50s that do it. But right now, nah. You could have been a world champion. Oh, yeah.
I know Riddick Bowe said he hit hard.
I mean, Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe. I used to train Riddick Bowe and stuff. He used to always speak
the
highly.
same thing.
BT, what does your dad think of the? Well, he didn't watch. My dad didn't watch the Kenshiro fight. He couldn't stay awake long enough.
Yeah.
I'm
just ashamed he lost though.
BT, who's better, Josh Kelly or Giovanni Santillan? Kelly is number one. Ooh, that's a good question, because Kelly is fighting. So Kelly is supposedly fighting Bachman. Josh Kelly.
Right.
Josh Kelly was once highly touted prospect.
Yeah.
England. He's been waiting for a big opportunity to prove himself for a long time. That being said, that's a good question. I would say Kelly is I'll give the slight edge to Kelly only because he's the natural 54-pounder. But I don't know, man. If Santillan and Kelly were to fight, listen, Santillan is strong. I can see Santillan outworking him and pushing him back.
Yeah.
Yo, Santillan was pushing Norman. Santillan was pushing Norman back, and Norman is country strong.
Yeah.
So
he's the country.
I'm serious. Like Norman is not like it's hard to push Norman back.
Yeah.
And he was doing it, and Norman had to punch him with all his might to get him off.
Yep.
That's partially that's the main reason why that knockout was so devastating.
Yeah.
Because Norman had to punch him with every fiber of his being to keep him off. Because if he didn't, he was just gonna stay on top of him and stay on top of him.
That guy was
And
big,
they were in Santillan's hometown, so odds are they were gonna go ahead and like definitely give Santillan the decision, because you guys don't even know. I said it my last time. I'll say it again. The matchmakers at Top Rank, I talked to Brad Goodman. Like I talked to people at Top Rank, and I know people that talk to other people at Top Rank, and they said, "Yo, BT, they're really high on the Santillan. They're calling him the future of the welterweight division on Top Rank." So
it's unfortunate it didn't happen.
you know what I'm saying? So is Dana White boxing thing going to last or not? You think BT? When will Saudis leave boxing? Well, good to see you again, Falling Star. Shout out to you out there in Japan, my second home. But as far as that is concerned, I've always said I don't think Dana White will last. I think I said three or 4 years in boxing. I don't think it's gonna be a long time for him. The Saudis are gonna get out of here before 2030. I think it'll be maybe what Turkey's been in boxing. He started 2023, one in 2025. So if they get out, let's say if they get out like 2028. What is that? 2028 to what, 3 years? So that's 5 years. I think probably 4 more years, and the Saudis will be out of here. Maybe even before that. I think it really all depends on is Turkey willing to continue to lose money on boxing for the long haul? Because most of these fights are not turning over a profit. He's
Yeah.
losing money because he's paying these guys an exorbitant amount of money, and I do think that, and
Yeah.
I've been pretty clear about it. But we shall see. We shall wait. You know. BT, I kind of feel like you do. MJ is somewhat of an opportunist. Yeah, he's a big time puncher. That's why I give him a chance.
You think he can hurt no?
The Saudis are not going nowhere. We'll see. We shall see, man. I'm not as optimistic. Look, all you guys gotta do is look at the whole. Like, I don't want to get into politics,
Yeah.
right? But it's kind of hard to not get into politics when you have the Saudi Arabian government and Mohammed bin Salman in the fold, and like you got political figures in your face, and they have political agendas. So
Yeah.
therefore, you kind of got to talk about it a little bit. You have the whole Agenda 2030 thing going on in Saudi Arabia. I think they're pumping exorbitant amounts of money into entertainment and sports to reshape their economy.
Yeah.
And I think at some point boxing is gonna be
Could
removed
come
from
back.
the equation because it's a very very small piece of the pie for
Yeah.
entertainment over there. So I'm gonna say at the longest it'll be 2030, but I think sometime before 2030, boxing will not be invested by the Saudis anymore. I've always told you guys I feel like it's a moment in time. The fights that you're getting that you want to see, enjoy those fights, enjoy the moment in time, but like don't think it's gonna be like this forever,
It's not.
because it's not. Why do you think Boots is not fighting in Saudi Arabia? It's not just because he's turning down fights. I think part of it too is because Eddie Hearn is trying to keep him in America. Eddie Hearn, that's like one of Eddie Hearn's top American fighters. He's gonna want
Right.
to keep him. That's like his plan to keep him in America, because eventually he knows the writing is on the wall. Like he
Mhm.
feels like they're not gonna invest in the boxing forever.
Yeah.
Let me see. I know I missed a lot of comments. Shout out to everybody here rocking with us. Listen, man, there's 33 of y'all here. It's True School After Dark. We got Pops here. Make sure you smash the like button so this live gets pushed out to as many people
Mhm.
as seemingly possible. We got 36 people here, so we should have 36 likes. What's going on, people? Hey, listen, it don't cost nothing. It don't cost nothing but 1 second or 2 seconds of your day to go smash that like button.
Mhm.
So let me see. I missed some comments. I know I missed a couple comments. Keep them coming, guys. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to see how international we are on the broadcast. 'Cause I know I missed a lot of interesting comments. Mooney's Gambo says, "What do I think about Gio Lopez? He's ranked highly, and I think he needs one more tough fight before he's ready for a title shot." I like him. I've heard through the grapevine, and he said it too, that he's not at featherweight, but for some reason he's still ranked at featherweight. So if I take him at his word, he's a 130 pounder, but he's ranked at featherweight. So
Yeah.
that being said, I believe he's ranked like number 2 or 3 in the IBF, right? So he could theoretically be an Angelo Leo opponent. He's a good boxer. He's got a lot of high level experience. He sparred in a way. He sparred in a way. He sparred with a lot of guys, man. I think really and truthfully, he's not ready for that kind of fight, and I think he'd be better off at 130 because he is a big guy for featherweight. But good fighter, really good fighter. Kind of like and I say this respectfully, kind of like a bootleg Shakur Stevenson.
Damn.
Oh, Shakur is a good fighter. Like he's
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt Borgeson with the $10 super chat. Always good to see you, Matt. He says, "I have to ask, what are your thoughts on the Inoue Nakatani matchup? After watching it over and over, I don't see how Inoue wins. Nakatani is all wrong for Inoue. He's a bad man. And look,
He's bigger too.
he's bigger than Inoue. Look,
Yeah.
I've said it once. I will say it again. I feel like with Junto and Merjan, Inoue can't be this like mid-range explosive boxer, puncher, slugger. He's gonna have to tweak some things, adjust his style, and really and truthfully just be better. What do you think, Pop? What do you think about Inoue versus Nakatani? Who are you favoring?
I actually like both of them, to be honest. But everybody's gonna favor.
I've seen it split. I feel like I've seen a lot of people picking Nakatani.
I like Nakatani, believe it or not. I think he's taller. I think he's a bit stronger than, in my own opinion, stronger than
Inoue.
Inoue. But Inoue has experience going in. That's a big thing, with title fights and everything else. So a lot of people think I'm going with Nakatani. I think he's tall. He's hungrier. and he's got more to prove than Inoue.
The people who are picking Inoue, so that popular line of thought is that basically because Inoue, right? Inoue is an elite body puncher,
Right.
and Junto got a long torso, lot to hit. So they think that the body punching at Inoue is gonna get to Nakatani. How do you feel about that?
I don't think so. I think he's taller. If he keeps his distance from Inoue comes forward like he does, and lets Inoue continue to fight to him, and he catches him. I think he can catch him.
I don't think, to be honest, like Inoue's biggest challenge in that fight to me is not to overcome. It's not in Nakatani's height.
You don't think so?
Nope. His biggest challenge to overcome in that fight is his volume.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the volume of Nakatani, and the fact that he has probably.
You say he throws more punches.
He throws more
Inoue?
punches, but he's also very fundamentally sound, which is why I'm saying defense is very important. Footwork is very important. Distance control is very important because he's got probably one of the best. I think there's an argument to be made that Nakatani might throw the best 1-2 in boxing right now. He's that good at just landing that lead left hand down the middle.
Yeah.
But I think the volume. I think his volume is gonna give Inoue some fits in that fight. And I've always said, like, whoever the fighter that's gonna beat Inoue is.
Well, you gotta say Inoue's more like technical. He thinks out his shots or sets up his shots, and I think Nakatani, that he's gonna be lacking his experience thereof. Is gonna cause him to throw more punches and everything. But I think the smarter fighter, the more thoughtful fighter, I think going into the
Is
fight.
Nakatani?
No.
Is Inoue?
It's gonna be Inoue
Ooh.
playing the chess game. But I'm saying I'm going for Nakatani because one, the volume. I think he's more hungrier than him, and I think, like you said, the volume punching. But that doesn't mean you're gonna give disadvantage to Inoue because Inoue thinks out his shots before he takes those shots in combinations, and he can set them up.
You think Inoue could outbox Nakatani? Like I know with Japanese fighters, like they all have this built-in Bushido death before dishonor code.
Yeah.
So it's hard for these guys. It's hard for them culturally speaking to
I think they're
stay
gonna make a
distant for
statement.
12 rounds. But you
Both
think
fights gonna come in to make a statement because one of the biggest fights in Japan.
it's
Is
one of
gonna
the
be-
biggest fights in history?
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be about just playing tag and playing tennis back and forth and going into boxing. One of them is going to take the lead and get ahead when he can distance himself, and I think I think Inoue is going to be thinking these things. But if Nakatani, like I told you, he's taller. If you use that distance and lets him come into something, and you say he throws more volume
So
punches.
you're going Nakatani what? Stoppage or decision?
I can go. I would take a stoppage.
Ooh, you
Because
say he's getting
But
parted.
I'm saying that because both fighters can put each other one out. I'm not the only thing I say that I think is disadvantage for Nakatani is going to be Inoue's experience and a tactician, whatever it's called, tactician. When he's ready to attack, he's going to attack your combination and he's going to come in for it.
I'll give you.
Ken Nakatani, how has he fought somebody with the same style, or more or less close to the same style as Inoue, and when he comes in, he attacks.
I'll give you guys my other. Now I've gone back and forth. I've gone back and forth in this fight, and I'll probably go back and forth on it like 15 more times before they actually fight. If God willing, they both win their fights and they do fight. But I would say I'm actually gonna go with Inoue. I think I'm gonna stick with my
Is it 45, 50, 50, 50, 50, what?
52,
Yeah?
48.
that's-
Inoue.
Dang.
I'll say Inoue.
How about the casinos? They're probably fading Inoue.
I'm gonna say Inoue wins by late stoppage. Actually, yeah, because I think I've said this before when I talk about Inoue versus Jay McDonald. I don't think anybody with a long ass torso will ever beat Inoue.
No?
Yeah, only because I just feel like Junto. If there was a guy that could do it, it is Junto. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I have to see more.
It's really tough fight to really like.
It's hard because I can see four different outcomes in that fight.
Yeah.
Or no, I could realistically see four different outcomes, which would be the four outcomes that you could get. I could see both of them stopping each other. I
Right.
could see Nakatani outworking Inoue. And you know what? I feel like I trust Inoue's boxing IQ. I feel like Inoue knows with that fight, and he even knows this fight,
Right.
that he can't box how he's been boxing. I feel like Inoue will make adjustments for the Virgin fight. He'll make adjustments for the Junto fight, and you're not gonna get the same Inoue you've gotten. So we might see Inoue's best. That might be his swan. I feel like the Nakatani fight might be Inoue's swan song. If he's gonna have one last great fight, that's gonna be his one last great fight. So I've gone back and forth. And yeah, I don't know. Right now, I'll probably say Inoue by close decision, but we'll see. We got my man. So we have a couple of super chats.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody here. Matt Borgeson says, I don't think Inoue will even get past MJ in my opinion. I just think Inoue has slowed down and his body is starting to take a decline personally. I've said the same thing. I've been saying the same thing since probably the DePaulis fight, and I've been getting crucified for it by the Inoue fan base, and I'm part of the Inoue fan base. What's pissing me off when they crucify me because I'm a fan like you guys are the guy. You know, he's the reason why I went to Japan. You know, and whatnot. But with Inoue, I feel like yeah, with Merjan, the punch he's gonna have to be very wary of in that fight is the right hook, because Merjan got a murderous right hook.
Yeah.
He gets crazy, and Merjan catch him with a right hook.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're saying you're not doubting, you're not favoring the whole fight completely to Inoue. You feel that Marjorie can punch. Jerome, MJ can punch, right? But my thing is, are you counting on just that one punch he got from both sides? What's his strongest
No, he
point?
can box. He can
That's what I'm
box.
saying.
But
Because for me, all I remember him is that motherfucker hold belt for 9 years and didn't do shit with it. So that's why.
No, but beyond all that, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter.
Based on what Brendan says, that's why I'm not really high on him. I think
my gripe was that he could have been in position to fight Inoue moved up, but he didn't want to fight Steve Foreman, right? And then he lost a close fight to Paulus. That's why Paulus got the fight.
What flaws do you see or have you seen in Inoue that he gives up that'll be an advantage for MJ? Like what flaws do you see?
He over relies on his athleticism and his reflexes sometimes. So sometimes you can catch Inoue pulling straight out. That's why Neri dropped Inoue.
Yeah.
He's pulling straight out. So I just feel that and then when Inoue exchanges, you know, his head on the center line, and if it stays on the center line and Merjan is able to catch him with a right hook,
Yeah.
he's gonna get hurt.
Right.
Now I'm gonna tell you all this
Mhm.
because for some reason, because everybody says I hate Inoue because of Angelo or whatever.
No.
Inoue, look, I don't know if y'all can see, I got an Inoue magazine over there.
Yeah.
All right, that's one of my favorite fighters.
More than enough.
That's one of my favorite fighters in the history of boxing. I want him to win. I want to see him I want to see him at featherweight because I want to see him try to become a 5-division champion.
But
I think he's that great. I'm hoping he beats Junto and Merjan.
But if he loses, is it ending the era for him?
A little bit, but my thing is, by the way, I told you guys about this a long time ago, and this guy called Inoue out today. If Inoue loses, win or lose, it doesn't matter because they already got Inoue's fight. They
the pocket?
They got an even bigger fight for Inoue than Junto in the back pocket,
Are you serious?
and that's the fight against Tenshin Nasukawa. Because
So they both started.
Tenshin said he would go up and fight Inoue. He would
Wow.
Yeah, he'd go look for the smoke and fight Inoue. So I'm telling y'all, win or lose, it don't really matter. Inoue is good. He's got plenty of fights at featherweight if he wants to go up there. He could, if the fight is close, he could do a Junto rematch. If he don't want to fight Junto, he fight Tenshin. I'm telling you guys, the Tenshin fight would be like 20 times bigger than Junto.
It's not gonna be like the 8. He's gonna fight that.
When I
8.
went to Japan the first time in 2023, I'm telling you guys, I would ask people about boxing and Inoue. Inoue was famous in 2023, but you know he wasn't as famous as he is now.
No, right.
The Tokyo Dome fight really put him on another level
Right.
now. But in 2023, when I went to Japan, I would say that Tenshin was more famous than Inoue by a good margin too.
Wow.
So
Do you feel like that? I'm answering my own question, but do you feel that the Japanese people, Japanese media, are gonna favor Inoue over Nakatani over Rojon, or they're gonna be split on either one?
no, I think the majority. I think the majority of people will favor him against Merjan. But from what I've heard, from the reports I got back from Japan, is everyone's telling Inoue that this is his hardest fight since Fulton. So that's why you're seeing him pull all the stops in camp. He brought him on to Paulus to camp. He's sparring Makita Nakano. He's sparring all the top,
Wow.
Japanese southpaw power punchers you can find in and around his weight.
But sometimes the media overextends bullshit.
I think it's his hardest fight since Neri.
I'm not saying like I never thought you were gonna you I thought there were other opponents higher than Mojiron that you. I'm saying you're placing Mojiron like high. I didn't think you had him that high against a guy like Inoue, based on why he was champion. He did this, he did that. Like you got him up here. So I'm saying, are the Japanese people looking at.
The thing is, like, I don't, like, I'm
Are
not a
they
big
going
merge.
are they going by what the media's telling?
I'm not a big merge on guy, but he's just so much better than what Inoue's been fighting.
Have you ever been knocked out before? Down?
Knocked down? Did he get knocked out? Maybe he did against Tapaj. You guys refresh my memory.
Yeah.
Some people in the chat are saying that they think Merjon's better than Stephen Fulton. I don't think that, but you know
Crap.
he's I wouldn't say he's a better fighter, but I think he's a more dangerous fighter because he's bigger puncher.
Much more.
Yeah, Fulton's not punching like that. We know that,
Wow,
but
yeah. Holy
stylistically it could be a
Yeah.
tougher fight.
Right.
Matt Borgeson with the super chat, he says, Inoue to me is on par with Mike McCallum with his body punching abilities. He's one of the best to ever do it personally, punch into the body. I don't know. Listen, he is very, very good. I won't take that from him. I'm not sure if I'm ready to put him on Mike McCallum level.
Wow.
That's like really, really high.
But hasn't he
But I
accomplished
would
a lot more?
listen.
I know he's accomplished a lot, Brendan.
Mike McCallum accomplished a lot.
I know.
Y'all not gonna come on here
Okay,
talking crazy about the body snatcher.
Okay.
R.I.P. to Mike McCallum. I had the chance
Okay.
to
Right,
meet him
okay,
and interview
okay.
him. He was a great fighter, man. If,
So-
if you never watched him versus James
No.
Toney, definitely go ahead and
Look at it.
go watch that fight. That's like one of the best chess matches of all time.
Right.
Aggressive chess matches of all time. But yeah, I would say he's definitely one of the best power punchers in the sport today. Any weight class. You know? My man right here says, I don't think any pressure fighters can beat Inoue. He's too good of a counter puncher. That's not true. That's definitely not true. If Inoue ever loses a fight, it's gonna be to a pressure fighter. Because
counter.
yeah, but it has to be like a defensively responsible counter puncher, a pressure fighter. You know, a guy that can pivot, that has angles, that ain't gonna sit right there on the center line for Inoue. Because Inoue is a Japanese fighter, and most Japanese fighters, their punches are very, very straight. So you can't be just you have to be a multi-layered pressure fighter. You can't just be, you know, a high guard, come forward pressure fighter. Now there's not many like guys like around this way who qualify as that, but nah. You know, a guy that's not a pure pressure fighter. I think pressure fighting and volume punching is just a part of what it would take to be Inoue. But you can't just be. I don't think a pure pressure fighter will be Inoue. You know, you gotta be a guy like Junto. You gotta be a multi-layered fighter. You gotta have different tools because he's gonna make the adjustment.
But I think where I could be wrong about this. If you got a pressure fighter that can make Inoue fight from the back foot, I mean he can adapt to that, but that's his strong point, fighting off his back foot.
Fighting off his back foot.
Based on the experience,
he can
they
fight.
know he's doing.
He can fight a little bit off his back foot. But he's a mid-range guy. He likes to hold his ground.
In the middle screen,
Mid-range,
yeah.
explode, punch the target. You know. BT Inoue, and here's Hyro. BT Inoue is too small for 126, but you laugh at me for saying Marvin Hagler should have fought Michael
here you
Spinks.
go.
He literally cleaned up 160. No comment, Hyro. No comment.
We're gonna come in.
No comment.
Make me laugh with it.
Nick Ball could give Inoue problems.
I would say.
I think it would be an ugly fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I really think Inoue would beat him, but you know, you never know. The crazier things that happen in boxing. I think Inoue beats him, but we'll see.
I think Nick Ball's aggressiveness will be against him. Will work against him.
Yeah.
With a guy like Inoue.
I don't know, man. I feel like Nick Ball's pressure is
So
overrated.
where have you seen where have you seen Inoue be pushed around by anybody or a brawler? I say Ball's more like a brawler.
He's a straight baller. He
Brawler.
got a low center of gravity.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean. I'll go back with Inoue. Inoue will adapt to that and catch him with it, counter him if he throws fucking wild punches and misses.
The Sam Goodman fight gave me a lot of confidence that Nick Ball is gonna get stopped to the body at some point in his career. Like I'm actually like,
Yeah.
I never considered him ever getting stopped to the body.
Yeah.
I'm willing to wage. In fact, I even tell you guys, within his next 4 fights, Nick Ball is getting folded with a body shot.
Seriously?
Folded with his body shot. I don't care if it's Inoue that does it. Listen, I don't care if it's Inoue that does it. I don't care if it's Angelo Leo that does it. So he's getting folded. Goodman landed way too many left hooks to the body.
Yeah.
The thing is, Goodman is not a body puncher like that.
Right.
He became that for that fight, but he's not a body puncher.
Mhm.
You get a guy like
I will
Inoue. You get a guy like
I will
Angelo.
say one thing that
Like
you,
elite, world class body punchers.
I-
He's getting folded.
I will say one thing that you did say the other day that really caught my eye. You say because Nick Paul's the only UK champion, they're gonna protect him as much as they can
Until the Inoue fight.
until they, yeah.
And you know what? Hey, you know what's crazy? Nick Paul has some powerful people behind him in boxing.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
Inoue Inoue better not leave that fight close.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
You trying if it's a fight
No,
in Saudi
if
or
it's in
anywhere?
Saudi, I'm telling you right now, I don't really do that as a close fight. I think Inoue should take care of business, but yo, Inoue leave that fight close.
If they fight,
I'm
if
telling
they
you,
fight.
I'm telling you.
Right.
If
But-
Inoue leave that fight close, you got Frank Warren behind him. You got some people.
The power of the boxing.
We shall see. We shall see. But anyway, shout out to everybody here. It's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. True School After Dark with Pops.
Thank you all for being here.
You know, make sure you smash that like button.
Yep.
Definitely subscribe. Definitely super chat.
Yep.
We're happy to be here with you guys. We're almost about 1 hour in. We got like another hour to go.
Yeah.
So, you know, hey, you guys asked for the man. You asked for the pay-per-view
We're
attraction.
here. I'm here. You know.
By the way, shout out to Pops. I forgot to say shout out to Pops for the $10 super
Alright.
chat, even though he's sitting right next to me.
Yeah. I just want. I don't know what, because when Neri caught Inoue, it was just a quick thing, right? It was
It was a flash knockdown.
So that's where see, but I'm quite sure Inoue's. That's one fight that I say he studied and he's done everything right. Where I know whether he's gonna fight, he's gonna do something.
You gotta be prepared.
adjust.
When
And
you
he
fight
will,
him,
and he will adjust as the fight goes on.
he'll adjust.
He will adjust.
And you gotta be prepared because one thing about Inoue, and this is why I fantasize about it.
Mhm.
I literally fantasize about it every day. I fantasize
Right.
about him coming to featherweight, undefeated, and I want him to have his O.
Mhm.
And I fantasize about like going to camp and
Yeah.
and play my little part to help
Yeah.
Angelo because I want to match up against Shingo Inoue because it's not just Angelo versus Inoue.
Right.
It's like no, you match up against Shingo Inoue, one of the best trainers in the sport.
Mhm.
And I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's a beast. Yeah,
You still will pick even to this day, even let's say right now, in hypothetical, Inoue goes in and beats fucking MJ,
Nakatani,
beats Nakatani. Will you still favor
Angelo. I told y'all years ago.
because
I told y'all years ago.
Angel could have a fallback.
And I don't care what none of y'all say.
Yeah.
I know what I know, and I'm not moving off my square. If he comes up to featherweight,
Mhm.
all right, and I'm gonna say it a million times, and I'm gonna speak it into existence.
Yeah.
He comes up to featherweight, he's getting sent home with an L, Angelo. Y'all better hope he gets lose. Listen, y'all better just hope he loses to Nakatani or Merjan or one of
Why
those
you
guys.
saying that?
He
Because-
comes to featherweight, we have what it takes to
Well,
beat him.
what weakness? We won't.
I've told you in this live. I've told you.
We won't talk
I've
about
told you in this live.
Inoue, but we'll talk about
Angelo?
Angel's thing. But what weakness do you see Inoue that will give the favor to Angel? That you see that he exposes himself out to? I don't see any. He comes forward.
I see a lot.
Are you serious?
I mean, I know everyone sees a lot. I know everyone sees a
what
lot.
I'm saying, Inoue is a pressure fighter is going to come at you.
Inoue is not a pressure fighter.
Well, I'm saying when he adjusts himself in the middle, he's there, he's coming forward, he sets his competition. What makes you so confident that Angelo's gonna do this? Yes, Angelo knocked up the shit out of the Mexican guy and beat the fuck out of him, and blah 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 blah. But my point is, and he beat some other fighters too. But what do you see of the flaws in Inoue that's gonna give an advantage to him without exposing Angelo's?
Los pies,
Yeah.
the feet.
Seriously?
Yeah, the feet.
Inoue got quick feet too.
He's got quick. I didn't say he was slow.
Yeah.
I didn't say he was slow. I just
Yeah.
said the feet.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't
Okay,
want to
okay.
give y'all too much because
Okay,
then
okay,
then
Yeah,
people
yeah.
from Japan might see what I'm saying and they're gonna say, hey.
They're gonna call you.
I don't know who's watching.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who's watching, so I won't give too much away. But that amongst other things, all I'll say is in these next couple of fights, I'm looking for
Because
and this
Inoue is one of the faster fighters that I see that he can make a jump
And
right
these
away
next two
on the
fights-
boat and he'll figure it out.
in these next two fights, there's very specific tweaks in the style I'm looking for.
Mhm.
If I don't see them,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow in confidence. He better make certain adjustments. I'm not gonna say what they are because I
Let me ask
can't.
another question.
I-
Who has more power? And I'll leave it alone.
At featherweight, who has
If
more
they- if
power?
they- yeah, if they were to- and I'll leave it alone between Angelo and him. Besides the knockout, let's.
I would say
G-
I would.
G-
I would say no. I would say.
Inoue's had a lot-
Inoue's the
and-
faster fighter, right?
Mhm.
Speed is power in boxing. So, out of respect for him being a finisher,
Mhm.
I will say Inoue. But Angelo got some pop at featherweight. He's probably of the champions. He's the biggest puncher in the division.
So that you see,
So-
he's a sleeper. People don't know all the strength he got.
All I'll say is, look, I can sit here. Look, I can
You
sit
can
here.
talk,
Look,
yeah.
we're just talking. I can sit here and I can tell the chat till the calls come home what I think will happen.
Right.
Doesn't matter. No one's gonna believe me
Right.
until it actually
And
happens.
then when it happens,
So
yeah.
all I'll say is, look, fight by fight, he's gonna keep improving. He's gonna keep winning. He's gonna keep getting better. We learned a lot in Japan against Kameda. Just watch. All I'll say is just watch.
Okay, let's say hypothetically again.
Hold on, I got a super
Okay,
chat. I
okay.
want to get to it.
Okay.
Shout out to everyone here.
Yeah.
My man Matt Borgeson says,
Oh, man, thank you for the super chat.
do I think Ramon Cardenas will become a
Oh,
world
man.
champion? That's a great question, man. I feel like Cardenas is very good, man. He's not that far. You know, he's got some craft. He's got some pop. He's definitely got nerves of steel because he fought in a way really great in his last fight. I think footwork wise, there's some things he's got to improve upon and enhance a little bit if he wants to be the best he could be. It all really depends on who he fights for the world title. Because I'll tell you this, if he fights Junto,
Yeah.
that's a tough fight, right? Like he has a lot to overcome. I think it depends, but he's at 122 right now, so he's not. I mean, he's not gonna fight Inoue because he just fought Inoue, so he can't.
Right.
So I'll say yes. I will say yes. I think Cardenas becomes the champion because I think Nakatani and Inoue are gonna fight, and I think right now Cardenas, because of how he fought Inoue and him going to him getting a big Japanese fan base, I think he's probably getting in really well with Mr. Honda and them guys in Japan. So I think at some point they're gonna go ahead and give him a fight for the vacant title that he can win. So I think he will become a champion, but I don't think it'll be like in the next year or so. I don't think that. So, but he's a good fighter. I like him. I like him. My man Justin Todd says Leo was good, but Espinoza is the best. All due respect. Hey, well, I even if your opinion is incorrect, I respect your opinion. You know, Espinoza is a really good fighter. I don't agree with your opinion. I know he's not the best featherweight. He hasn't fought anybody but Robesi, and that's a good win.
Yeah, but his inside game is crazy. I'm talking
Who?
about.
Espinoza's inside game is crazy.
When he's in there, when he
I don't think his inside game is crazy. I think his bone density is crazy.
So
That's
so
like
you're saying-
to me, little Espinoza. I'm not putting him down. I think
No.
I think he's a good volume puncher. I think he's tough. I think he's a great with the boxing fans. I love him. Like I know his team. He's a lovely person.
Yeah.
I love like Rafael Espinoza is probably one of my. If he wasn't at featherweight, you probably hear me talk
Yeah.
better about him.
Yeah.
But more often. But his bone density is what makes him the fighter he is.
Right.
Him being because his bone like he don't gotta land as many punches on you to make you swell up.
Right.
I don't think his inside game is great. He got one. You're talking
I mean,
about
when he was fighting
You're talking about Robesi, right?
Yeah.
He got caught bad because of it. Because of it, he pulled straight out.
Right.
Pulled straight out. I don't think he's like an elite technical fighter. I think he's got a lot of balls. He's tough, and his bone density breaks these guys' fucking eye sockets.
Right.
That's what makes him who he is.
Mhm.
But that's my opinion.
Right.
Now, where I get disrespected, right? I'm disrespected because I think it was Justin. He said, Ball and Leo are equal. No, they are not. No, they are not. Nick Ball has not fought. Nick Ball has not fought a featherweight. He's fought 122,
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that.
122,
Yeah, you took-
122 as a featherweight champion. All guys from 122. Angelo literally knocked out a guy who would like if Venado Lopez moved to 130 or 135, he'd punch hard at 130 and 135.
Wow.
And he knocked him the fuck out when he was the longest winning champion in the division.
Right.
Then he went to Japan and he outboxed the former world champion on foreign soil. So
Yeah.
I disagree with you. Y'all are not getting it. Like I could yell it till the cows come home. All we can do is just prove you wrong, and hopefully you guys definitely go ahead and start
Some money where
supporting.
you want to put it together.
Okay, we got my man Matt with another super chat. He says, "I want to see Espinoza versus Navarrete or Oscar Valdez."
Oh man, those would be great fights. But this is getting old.
Or Valdez.
Navarrete, yeah, that'd be a great fight. But that's old.
I want to see Espinoza. I mean, I know it'll never happen because maybe it can.
Yeah.
I want to see Espinoza versus Sugar Nunez at 30.
Oh man.
Now, if we're gonna do Mexican fights,
Yeah.
130, you give me Espinoza versus Sugar Nunez, then we'll see. We'll see who the real big puncher is.
Oh man. Yeah.
You know what? Yo, because I actually got asked about this because I did see Sugar Nunez when I was in Japan, and I was asked, they were like, yo, BT, how big is Sugar Nunez? Team Leo asked me. I said, oh, he's big, but he's not like too big.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Angelo go to 30, just on that puncher,
Mhm.
get up. I don't know. Listen, there's all kind of fights that can happen. Shout out to all the featherweights. We want to see these fights. So, Top Rank, y'all got to get it together.
But what weight class? Oh, Shaki 4-star.
30, but he's going 35.
He is.
I think.
Yeah,
I think.
I like him too.
We're missing a lot of comments here, man.
Okay.
We shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
We got MMA Box Addict. He said, "What's up, pops? What's up, True School Sports?"
Thank you,
Two
guys.
sharp, very sharp men here. We try.
Yeah,
We're not always the brightest crayons in
I'm
the
just a
Crayola
co-pilot.
box, but
Yeah, thank you so much.
we give it the old college try. Good to see you here, champ.
Mhm.
You know what? Now, I wanna switch gears a little bit. Cause I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna start clipping some of these segments from these
Right.
lives and putting them out as videos.
Right.
I want to address this because I was asked to address this because, during the last live, it happened while I was doing the last live. Reports came out about Tom Loeffler and the fact that Sergey Boychuk decided not to fight Jaron Ennis. Now, I messaged Sergey Boychuk myself, along with Brian Mendoza myself, and they told me that they gave me their reasons as to why the fight didn't happen. In the case of Boychuk said the reason the Boots fight didn't happen was because there was no offer to fight Boots, right? Now, Tom Loeffler, who is Boychuk's promoter,
Right.
came out and said that they did get an offer, and I'll read you guys the quote verbatim what Loeffler said about the offer and why they decided to not fight Jaron Ennis and go in a different direction. Because for those of you who know, for those of you who don't know,
Good fight.
Boychuk is rematching Brendan Adams on the Canelo
Oh, yeah.
Crawford undercard. That's actually the main event on the prelims to Canelo Crawford. Many of you may remember that was a fight where Boychuk was winning. He was undefeated, and he got caught with a good shot. It was in Puerto Rico on Ring City USA Thursday Night Fights series, and he wound up losing that fight in a devastating fashion, but he was winning. So this is a chance for Boychuk to avenge a loss to, in my opinion, the only guy that's ever legitimately beat him, because I don't think Virgil beat Boychuk in legitimate fashion. I thought it was very close. I thought Boychuk won. So would you classify it as, so I'm gonna ask Pops before I get into comments, before I even give my thoughts. You got the Boots fight, right? Boots is a big name coming up to 154. He doesn't have a title, neither does Brandon Adams.
All right.
But what do you think is the better move? Do you think it's better to fight Boots in a main event in Philadelphia on the zone, or be the main event on a prelims for the biggest card of the year and try to avenge the loss to the only guy that has knocked you out? What do you think? All I'm saying is, do you think it's a duck? Do you think Boychuk duck Boots?
I'm not gonna say duck them. I just think that they think that right now I don't know what to think of fucking Boots. Fuck him if they got duck. 'Cause, I mean, Boots ain't doing shit to get his credibility. He just got a name. You know what I mean? Who the fuck is fucking besides Karen and so honest? Who the fuck?
But people will say, well, Boots has been champion, right? Just playing devil, just being fair. Boots has been champion, right? Brandon Adams has not. But Brandon Adams beat Boychuk, and as a fighter, you always want to get your loss
Boots
back.
didn't fight. Hasn't fought Boychuk either, right?
Well, no, Eddie Hearn said they offered the Boychuk fight
And he
to
said no.
Boots. Well, Loeffler said so. Let's get into the quotes.
Okay, but the question was, is it because Boychuk was playing for another?
I'm gonna read it. I'm reading it to you guys. So Loeffler said the following, and I quote: "I know Eddie Hearn mentioned there was a big offer made for Sergey to fight Ennis, but we were working on this fight, which I told Eddie." So according to Loeffler,
They were
before
in the process.
they were already talking about making this fight before he got the offer to fight Boots.
Okay.
Then he said, and I quote: "We feel like this is a more important step for the promotion of his career to fight the rematch with Brendan Adams on this show. And then we can always see what opportunities are in the future. He's the mandatory challenger in the WBC rankings. He's very well positioned, and we still believe he's the top 154 pounder in the world." And I think, and then he said, "This is a great high-profile fight for Sergey, and if everything goes the right way for him, then we'll build upon bigger things in the future. The amount of eyeballs on this media, and not just boxing fans, but mainstream celebrities that'll be there, and all people watching on Netflix is huge, bigger than any event that I know of, especially with Netflix's involvement, international involvement. This is the biggest stage that Sergey could have hoped to have been on. It's opportunity that we just couldn't pass up." Right?
And again,
So what do you guys think, Pops? Is it? Do you guys think it's a duck?
If the public demands it and wants it, yeah. I'll put it like this. I better watch Brian Adams. You know Brian was a singer too?
Brandon Adams?
Brian Adams.
Well, this is Brandon Adams. This is Brandon Adams. Saying Brian Adams.
Yeah, Brandon Adams. And this fight is big, and the public want to see this. This is better than fucking Boots in the Lima Bean, or whatever, Lima Bean.
Lima, okay.
No respect. So, anything that goes with Boots, I'll discredit everything.
So you don't think it's fair that
Because,
you think it's a duck?
no. I will say the fans want to see a rematch of that fight. That's how good the fight was.
It was a great fight.
So it was a war. So they want to see that. We don't know what the fuck we're gonna get with Boots.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'll say this, right.
Mhm.
I would have been okay with Boachuk fighting Boots' first fight,
Mhm.
but a lot of the Boots fans are telling me that he deserves a tune-up. So if you guys are saying he deserves a tune-up, then to speak to the Boots fans, if you guys are saying he deserves a tune-up, and he's getting a tune-up, then why are you getting mad at a guy for not fighting him? If you're because we know Boachuk's not a tune-up. If you're saying Boots deserves a tune-up, which I think is bullshit, but I'm saying if that's what you believe and that's what you're arguing, then how are you gonna get mad at anybody for turning down? Another thing too, I'll say this. Boachuk's I think it was his last fight. He had a fight recently against Ishmael Davis, and he fought on the Turkey card, and he got paid very, very well. I would say,
wow,
probably. I know Eddie Hearn made. I don't know what they offered Boachuk. So maybe it was 250, maybe it was 500,000. But whether it was 250 or whether it was 500,000, I know Boachuk got paid more than that.
right.
So in order to get a guy like Boachuk in the ring, because he got probably overpaid for that fight with Ishmael Davis, he's gonna want to have that matched. And if you can't match it, then that's why he's fighting on the biggest card of the year.
Yeah.
Now, I'll point something out to you guys. Ennis is the number one contender in the WBC, and Boachuk is the number two contender in the WBC. Now we know Boots is going the WBA route because the Lima fight is an eliminator fight. But hypothetically speaking, if they both win the next fights, he could fight Boachuk
Next time.
in a WBC eliminator fight.
Okay.
Which I don't know if they're gonna do that, but that's an option.
Yeah.
Now, do I think it's a duck? If you want to call it a duck, I'm not gonna get mad at you.
Right.
Because I'm fair. Boachuk, Boots is a bigger name than Brandon Adams by far.
Right.
He's a bigger name than Brandon Adams. He is a draw, and you're well within your right to say it's a duck. What I will say about about this whole thing from a management standpoint is that you're fighting on the Canelo Crawford card. It's the biggest card of the year. You're getting a pretty good spot on the card. It's not like they had a buried deep on the card. He's the main event of the prelims. So right before everyone tunes in for the main card, they're gonna see Boachuk versus Brandon Adams. And on top of that, this is a guy in Adams that he lost to. He lost to Brandon Adams.
That's what I'm saying.
He lost to Brandon Adams.
Yeah.
And he wants to, as a fighter, you're gonna want to avenge that loss. So it's a personal fight for him. It's on a big card for a lot of money with a lot of exposure. I can't knock it, but I'm not gonna knock you if you say it's a duck.
Yeah.
The second thing I will say, the second thing to consider, and I'm not moving the goalpost. If you want to say it's a duck, you say it's a duck. I think there's enough. There's enough evidence to say that it's a duck. But I personally think it's a duck because of the fact that it's on a bigger platform. And if you don't want Boachuk to fight on a bigger platform, if you want him in the ring with Ennis, then you gotta overpay a guy like that, unfortunately. And I don't think Eddie Hearn's willing to do that. That's why they're fighting Lima. Now, the second point I'll bring up, so you guys can see the whole picture, the whole context, is that Sergey Boachuk is with Tom Loeffler. Tom Loeffler gets a lot of fight dates with on UFC Fight Pass, and he gets those fight dates exclusively from Dana White. And he was getting those fight dates from Dana White before TKO boxing was even a thing.
Wow.
Because they have Tom Loeffler promotes Callum Walsh, the big, strong 54-pounder from Ireland, and Dana White would be one of those fights on UFC Fight Pass. So what I'm saying is Loeffler and White already have a relationship.
Right.
So from a business standpoint, Loeffler's not gonna say, "Yo, fuck the Canelo Carter fight" and screw up what he's got going on with Dana White to convenience Boots and Eddie Hearn. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
If you want to say it's a duck, I'm saying it's okay to call it a duck. I'm not mad at it, but I'm telling you how he's gonna think of what the perspective he's thinking from. He's like, okay, this is a big card. This is a chance to avenge a loss against a guy he lost to. A lot of eyeballs, a lot of exposure, chance to build himself up, right? And I have this relationship with Dana White. I don't want to fuck this up because this is a guy that's been good to me. Tom Loeffler, right? Tom Loeffler's not a big promoter. Tom Loeffler didn't really have a TV network until UFC Fight Pass got in the picture. Wow. So he's been able to build his fighters on UFC Fight Pass. So he's not gonna go against the guy that's done the best by him in boxing.
Exactly.
That's just I'm just telling you how it is.
Business relations.
It's just business. So listen, Boots is gonna fight Lima. Best luck to him. I'm pretty much done. Go fight him. Make sure it's a crazy performance. Do your thing. And then we can revisit. But
But when you say the Crawford fight and Canelo fight is bigger than Jake Paul and Tank fight now?
no, fuck no. Jake Paul versus Tank is the biggest thing in the year.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to Matt Borges. He says 2025 boxing isn't popular unless it's influencers. In a mainstream sense, yes. No, but it's true.
Yeah.
Because when I go on the street and I talk to people that don't watch boxing, my friends that don't watch boxing, they say, BT, what do you think about that fight? And I'm thinking they're going to ask me about Norman Haney. They're going to ask me about Benavidez. Yep, no, they're going to ask me about Jake Paul.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's where we're at. Matt Borges says Crawford versus Canelo is going to 100% underperform. 1,000% underperform. If it does, it is. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm glad you brought them up. I want to show those two a little grace. I feel like I've been being really hard on Crawford and Canelo recently. Do I think is it a fight that I want to see? No, it's not. Is it a fight that I'm overly excited about? No, not really. But the reason I'm gonna pull back on my criticism for them just a little bit is because the other day, I'm not gonna say for who, but I was reading through a boxing contract, right? And I was like, wow, this shit is crazy. And then I started doing research about a particular promoter, right? Actually, I'll tell you the promoter, right? I was doing research about All-Star Boxing, Tutu Sabala, right? And I just typed in Tutu Sabala lawsuit, and I came across the fact that Canelo had a lawsuit before he was even with Golden Boy. He had a lawsuit with Tutu Sabala, and he wasn't getting paid no money like that. He had like 7 or 8 fights. He only made like 180 grand across those 7 or 8 fights, and he was a budding superstar at the time. And they took him to court, and this, that, and the third. They were trying to make him pay $8 million. Him and Golden Boy. So as much as we look at Canelo as this guy who had all this privilege in boxing, no, he had some bullshit he had to go through in his career. And then with Crawford early in his career, he had the whole Chris Middendorf lawsuit. Top Rank didn't really initially believe in him because he was, they looked at him as kind of like a thug. So look, these guys have given a lot of really good fights to boxing fans, and they both went through a lot of bullshit early in their careers. So I'm glad they're getting paid. I wish that they didn't sell out the USA and Mexico to do it, but I hope it's a good fight for the sake of boxing. And they went through a lot. This boxing business is very, very, very difficult to navigate, and I'm happy for them that they've navigated it to get to this point.
I think you were saying earlier when we were talking about now you more so understand Floyd more than ever.
Yeah, I when Floyd talks about things in the business, like interviews that I watched plenty of times, things that used to go in my head, they click a lot these days, a lot. So that being said, these guys have earned their position to make this kind of money, and I hope it's a good fight. I still hold true to what I'm saying. I feel like they both did sell out the USA in Saudi Arabia, but in this game, there's not a whole lot of loyalty.
There's no love.
There's no love, and you got to do what's best for you because it just is what it is. We got my man Al Powell. He says Canelo betrayed All-Star Promotions. Canelo didn't fulfill All-Star Promotions. Had to pay. He's a snake. He talks about Oscar Robert and Canelo the snake. Listen, man. I don't want to comment further on that. All I'll say is, he had a lawsuit. They apparently settled it, so things have been resolved. But they both went through their fair share of trials and tribulations, and I feel like, it always gets highlighted about what these guys didn't do when they're already stars in boxing, that nobody talks about the lawsuits they had. And he said, and he lost in court. He lost. Okay, if he lost in court, he had to pay him. It is what it is.
Boxing.
Sometimes you gotta lose so you can win.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to make any disparaging remarks about promoters. All I'm saying is these guys both got sued. And let's be real, guys. Let's just be 100% authentic. These fighters come from poverty. They come from the trenches. They don't know fucking nothing about these boxing contracts. They just want to fight. So they sign things. They don't know what they're signing.
That's crazy.
They don't know what they're signing. Like 9.99 times out of 10. A fighter does not know what he's signing.
You just see the cash.
They can see the cash,
Right,
and they just want to fight, and they get promised the network and a date, and that's it.
And then when you see everything else beyond.
So I'm only saying this to say that, like, you guys know I've been very hard on these two. When I went back and I read like the lawsuit for that whole thing, and I went back and I read the lawsuit for Crawford early in his career, and I think about like in Crawford's case, he had to fight on Brandon Rios prelims early in his career. It's like, you know what, BT, maybe you need to shut the fuck up and give these guys some appreciation because these guys have been in a lot of good fights. They have done a lot for the sport of boxing. They've given you plenty of great content and plenty of great nights to talk about and supplying your channel great content. Maybe you need to stop being an unappreciative dickhead and give these guys their flowers. So you know what? That's what I'm doing. I'm giving them their flowers. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a great fight, and I hope that they deliver a fight of the year candidate for the sport of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
You know. Shout out to my boy Slide Encounter. He says I like Inoue because he's taking on all contenders. He's not fighting a bunch of recycle rematches like Usyk has been doing recently. I mean, in Usyk's defense,
Mm-hmm.
the heavyweight division ain't the deepest weight class in boxing. It really isn't. In a way, I give him his credit for staying active. This Merjan fight's the best fight he's had in about a year. You know, no, like a year and a half. He hasn't really fought anybody, in my opinion, since Neri. Everything from Neri, everything between Neri and now is
Yeah.
is bullshit, pretty much. For just being honest. Al Powell says, I understand, but Canelo shouldn't talk shit about Oscar when he's the snake. He signed those contracts. Oscar made Canelo the ungrateful he was. Nobody before. Yeah, what I'll say is this, man. He's talked a lot bad about Oscar, but Oscar's the one that got him out of that situation with All Star Boxing, right?
Wow.
So, you know, how come you don't talk about Tutu Sabala like that? Why don't Canelo keep that same energy about Tutu Sabala?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm coming. Cardenas was a better win than Picasso would have ever been. Cardenas turned out to be a good win, you know, but really going into the fight, it wasn't supposed to be a tough fight like that. Pops, you getting a little quiet on me. You got anything to say?
No, I'm listening to you guys.
He just listening. Listen, if y'all got any questions for Pops,
No, it's okay. I mean,
ask this man. He's here.
It's interesting when you're talking about like all these possibilities, and now you're learning about the contracts and everything.
Hyro said Nick Ball doesn't really punch like that. To be honest, especially in the second half. Yeah, I don't really see him as a big time. He's a physical fighter. He's a guy that wears you down and wears you out, but I don't think he's like a big time puncher like that. BT, what do you think about the latest Teofimo versus Shakur controversy? There is no controversy. It's all bullshit. There's no controversy because the fights are gonna be like. First of all, we know that Teofimo Lopez can't work with Turkey because Turkey is mad and offended that Teofimo Lopez said something quote unquote bad about his country, right? So they can't work together. So I think it's all bullshit. Like they're not gonna fight each other. They were never gonna fight each other.
Yeah.
I never put any stock into them fighting each other.
Yeah.
And even if they both wanted to fight each other, they're not gonna fight each other because Turkey doesn't get along with Tio. Tio ruined that relationship for whatever he said. He said I want to hold your hand like Crawford did and all this stuff. And he said something. He said, you guys can tell me what refresh my memory. He said something about Saudi or Muhammad or something like that. And he got all mad and he went on a podcast and he's like, Teofimo disrespect my country, right? So he's not gonna do the fight with him, and that's just what it's gonna be. So I never really, huh?
Where he's gonna make his money from? Tio, who's gonna?
I don't know. Well, Brand Risk Promotions. He gonna fight 4 people in one day, 4 influencers in one day. But I never really put any stock into it. I put 0 stock into it. You know. They want my man TSM wants to know from you, Pop. He says, what are your thoughts on Jin Sasaki?
Listen, everybody discredit this guy. Everybody said, oh, this guy wasn't this, wasn't that. He was nobody really. He didn't have no power. Didn't have this, and it wasn't like as big as Norman just fought a pillow-fisted fighter and knocked him the shit out and blah 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 blah. My thing is, doesn't matter. The motherfucker had enough balls to go in there, and this is where I have the problem. And I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna go back to Boots. You know, vice versa. You say you want to fight. I didn't want to go back to this. You said you and Norman agreed that after Norman fought Saki, you guys are gonna fight. No, instead you decide to jump fucking ship and take a fight to 154. So I respect Saki. Saki came all the way from Japan and got into Norman's face.
He looked for the champion.
Respectfully, what the fuck has Boots done? Like that's my whole point. So I give credit to Saki because of him just taking the shot. And yeah, he got his ass
stepped up to the plate.
out. But you know why he didn't arrest me? He fucking fought a world champion that fucking Boots didn't do.
There you go. That's his thoughts on that. Pedro says, remember, guys, Turkey can talk shit about America, but you can't say anything negative about his country. This is true. This is true, because for those of you who, Pedro's not talking out of turn and he's not talking crazy, because for those of you that don't know, last year on August 10th, because I remember I was reading this tweet while I was getting ready. It was the day before Angelo beat Bernardo, so I remember this very clearly.
Right.
Turkey tweeted in Arabic, and he said pretty much in Arabic that America's dirty, it's unsafe, it's not as good as Saudi. The weather, he even went as far as to say that weather is better than Saudi. You believe that shit? He said that like it's better than Saudi. So you mean to tell me that Saudi has better weather than Miami, than San Diego,
No.
than LA?
Fucking cold as fuck out there.
He's been to Saudi.
Yeah.
He's been to.
It's cold as fuck out there at nighttime, and it's hot as hell during the day. What the fuck you talking about? Your fucking age.
So yeah, it's not
And I get it.
it's not a two-way street.
He's gonna stick up for his country. That's why he's strong. But I mean, don't get me talking about the Saudis because them motherfuckers piss me off.
Yo, don't get into politics.
I'm not.
Don't get into
I just
politics.
gotta say one thing real quick. The fucking U.S. dollar. They didn't want the U.S. They want to be in all that bullshit with the U.S. dollar, and then he's gonna come over here and take all our fighters and make money off fucking the fighters over there, with our American fighters to go do whatever the fuck he wants over there.
Pop's the president.
So that's why I'm pissed off. So I can go deep, but
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that because you go. He ain't like me. He ain't like my dad. There's no safety on this Glock right here. But Hyro says, BT, do you want to borrow my Stars account because I can watch Top Rank and Power at the same time?
yeah, is it?
Yeah, you know the show Power with 50 Cent.
No.
You know that show? It's like Hyro's favorite show.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Hyro, give me that Stars account, champ. We want to watch Top Rank.
Yeah.
Pops for president.
Thank you.
Thank you. We voting for Pops.
Yo, who you got? You got Pete Dobson being that Puerto Rican? I think that's
Who?
He's gonna Flax and give
Pete
fucking
Dobson?
Yeah, Flax and give him a hard time.
So Pete Dobson, shout out to Pistol
I
Pete
like
Dobson.
Pete. I love him,
He's a
man.
friend of the channel. He's fighting Nicholas Flaus. That's a
He-
tough fight.
He ain't fighting. He ain't beat Flax.
He better be in some shape. I'll tell you right now, man. Whatever.
Well, he's a fireman. He should be.
He better no boxing shape. He better be in some fucking boxing shape, like not brolic shape. I'm talking about boxing shape.
Yeah.
And he better let his hands go. And he better, cause I'm telling you, Nicholas Flaus is gonna punch the target. So
Puerto Rican come.
I mean, Pete's not like he's a bit up there in age, but
God bless
if he
him.
wants to make anything of his boxing career, 'cause I see Pete all the time. He goes on Twitter, goes on Instagram. He say, hey, I can't believe these promoters. They don't promote fighters that's marketable or real skills. You getting a chance to turn your career around, champ. So please show up to the dance and show up to win. You know, we not the best country and they're not the best, even though we feel like that. Listen, it's one of the best. I mean, shit.
Well, I mean,
I don't see.
things have changed a lot, but yeah. I was gonna say so did the Harvey fight impress you tonight?
Did Jamal Harvey? No, he ran through the
He's
guy.
a heavyweight, right?
Jamal Harvey's a lightweight.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm like, he's too light to be a fucking
Heavyweight. No, he's
Yeah.
it's like a lightweight.
Oh, okay.
Nah, Jamal Harvey's good. Jamal Harvey's good. What did
Short.
y'all make of Jamal Harvey tonight?
He's short too.
Yeah. BT, how was the Jin and Pete sparring? Was it great to watch? Oh, I enjoyed it. I won't speak too much on it because I'm not like these chatty Cathy's in boxing. I believe what happens in the gym should stay in the gym. It was good sparring. It was good sparring. Yeah. I think Pete was strong, Jin was strong, and there were just things defensively that Jin needed to correct, that he was told to correct by. I won't get into it, but I just think
It's already watered down the drain.
it's already water on the drain. We'll leave it at that. We will leave it at that because I respect people's privacy and I don't want to say things and get in trouble or because one thing you guys don't know about this boxing thing is like people are very very paranoid. And you know what? I can't even blame them. I really can't blame them.
That's the
Can't
thing,
trust
yeah,
nobody.
yeah.
You know what did my man
You always tell me
what did my man Lloyd Banks say?
that.
In the streets of New York, you can't trust nobody.
Yeah. I tell Brennan, man, that guy looks like a nice guy. And Brennan said, Dad, just look from afar.
Jazz wants to know, yo, BT, is Leo planning on unifying? If yes, against who? You gotta ask the other guys. It ain't on us. I mean, I'm not gonna say no names, but one of these champions who you guys talk up so highly, who you think can beat Angelo, he was already offered the fight and he turned it down.
Yeah.
So
I know, yeah.
I'll let you know what I'm saying. I'll let you take a guess on who that is. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but we already tried to unify. They don't want to unify. So it is what it is. One guy is gonna move up. The other guy is talking about moving up. The other guy don't want to fight featherweight. So look, unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna have to fight a voluntary because we just fought a mandatory, and the other guys don't want to fight. So it is what it is.
Don't think as being a champion, you still have to fight mandatory or
Well,
something?
he already fought
Oh,
as
I'm
mandatory.
sorry.
Kamado is mandatory.
Okay, so he's good then.
He's good. He can fight whoever the hell he wants in the top 15. There's a lot of paranoid coaches out there that say that they're like, yeah, that's true. You cannot, like in boxing, everyone, and I mean everyone that you meet and come into contact with, you must be on guard at all times.
It's crazy.
I saw a manager one time try to steal a fighter right in front of me at an MVP boxing show.
Seriously?
I'm not gonna say which manager,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
won't name the fighter.
Yeah.
But this fighter actually was a world champion, and this fighter happened to just be there by themselves. They weren't fighting; they were just watching the fights.
Yeah, enjoying the fight.
And I saw the manager go up to the fighter and start making conversation, talking about, yeah, this guy's no. And
Isn't that illegal?
listen, they're like, yo, this guy's no good. This guy's no good. This guy's this. This guy's that. Come sign with me. I will make your dreams come true. I can take you to the top.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they say it a dream. I can take you to the top. I can take you to the promised land. I literally seen this shit. I'm not gonna name the names. I'm not gonna name the fighters. I'm not gonna name the weight classes. But I seen some shit. It's crazy.
Yo, man, I won't snap. I look at those contracts. And I'm
I
like,
showed it to him.
holy fuck! Like, if you don't really fight, you can really get fucking screwed.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I like that verse in French Montana. He said, "Even your shadow leaves you when it's dark." That was a hard line to me. Trust nobody. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's only a handful of people I can trust. This guy is one of the only guys I trust in
Yeah.
my entire life. That's
saying,
about
like,
it.
Brennan told me not to trust. Don't think everybody's nice.
Because we go to fights, and my people come to me. And they'll say nice things to me. BT, we love you so much. Oh my God. And they'll say, remember that one guy from New York, the Cut Man?
Yeah.
The Don King show?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even know that guy.
Yeah.
But he comes up to me every time and he's like, yo, this guy right here, this guy's the best, bro. This guy's the best. This guy's the best, yo.
I said, Brennan, do you know who the fuck he is?
Yeah. True School Sports is a casual fan of boxing. You don't know until you know. A casual fan. Oh, well, all right. Hey, if that's how you feel, hey, I'm glad that you spend time watching casual
I
fans
appreciate it.
spew things on the internet. I'm glad you find it entertaining.
Yeah.
Good to
exactly.
have you here. I don't agree with you. I think
Right.
you're wrong. I think you're
Right.
talking out the side of your mouth and out of your ass. But hey,
But it's
God
all
bless
good.
you.
Thank you for the comment.
I heard Carlos Adames is moving up. Is that true? I haven't heard anything about it. I mean, at this point, he should. I mean, the Johnny Beck fight, and, there's all kinds of
Go for
speculations.
160 or?
One guy saying this guy's ducking. I mean, okay, if you go 68, we know there's good fights there for Adames, but like, what fights do you guys think he could get at 68? Like, we know he's not gonna get a Canelo fight, or who knows?
Yeah.
You don't know, but I don't know. It all depends upon if he can make the weight. If he can make the weight, fine. I think the move is to stay at 160. Now, if he's having any problems, you don't want to stay at 60 too long, because then you could go ahead and you could lose a fight that you would never lose if you were healthy. So it's all about your health. Adames versus Canelo is a great fight. Sadly, he won't get it. Nah, I don't think he gets it. It's too risky of a fight. It's not big enough. It's not like Adames doesn't have that commercial value. By the way, Rafael Calvo, good to see you, champ. For to acknowledge you, good to see you. It's too risky of a fight. Not enough commercial value. And Canelo, if for however long he wants to box, I mean, William Skoll was a one-off. I know people are gonna say, "Well, BT, what about William Skoll?" William Skoll was a strategic move, and you know what? I actually applaud Canelo, because it's funny to me. Because when it happened, I thought it was when he dropped the belt to fight Berlanga.
Yeah.
I really thought that that was a troll move, because he could have fought Skoll right then and there. Skoll is IBF mandatory.
Right.
But he's like, nah. I'm gonna fight this Puerto Rican kid, because I know it's not gonna be a hard fight, and I'm gonna make a lot of money, because he's gonna talk.
Right.
He's gonna do a great job selling the fight, and then he beat him easy, and then all he did was he won back the belt that he dropped.
Jesus.
So he really
Didn't do nothing. Right.
he didn't do anything, but it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
because 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 100 years from now, it's gonna say in the record books, Canelo is two-time undisputed champion. It's not gonna say
Ooh.
Canelo dropped the belt to not fight as IBF mandatory.
Oh, that-
Let that guy
yeah.
win the belt, and
Yeah.
then just beat that same guy he could have fought. It's just gonna say two-time
I
undisputed
can't believe
champion.
you feel Angie when you talk about Philly coming back and fighting. That shit happened. Crazy when you told me that.
A man right here says all you ever talk about is unknown Japanese fighters. I mean, I didn't know Canelo Alvarez was an unknown Japanese fighter. I didn't know Rafael Espinoza was an unknown Japanese fighter. I didn't know is Jerron Ennis. I thought Jerron Ennis was as black as the Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
I didn't think I didn't know he was Japanese.
Yeah.
I didn't know Devin Haney was Japanese.
Yeah.
Who
Espinosa.
who else have we talked about on this
Bernardo,
live? Daniel Bailey just fought tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't know Daniel Bailey. I thought he was as black as the Ace of Spades.
Angelo Leo.
Navarrete, Alan Picasso,
Oscar.
Sugar Nunez, Terrence Crawford. I didn't know that all those guys were Japanese. So you put me on game, champ.
Yeah, thank you.
You put me. I didn't know Jerron Ennis was fucking Japanese.
What school did he graduate
Jerron
from?
Ennis is from Osaka. You know what? Jerron ain't from Philly no more. Jerron Ennis is from Osaka. Devin Haney's from Kyoto.
I'll say
No. He says I didn't say Navarrete or Boots was Japanese. No. You came on here and you started talking out the side of your mouth and you were like, oh, all you ever do is talk about Japanese fighters and literally this whole live the majority of what I've been talking about has been American fighters. But you come on here and you say now if these Japanese fighters are known, it's probably because you don't know much about boxing. And it's okay because a lot of people don't know much about
For you.
boxing. I still don't even know that much about
Yeah, yeah.
boxing.
Everything's
So
learning.
I'm still learning myself.
Yeah.
But like, how can you say all I talk about is Japanese fighters? I talk about every fighter in boxing. I talked about Bailey before this live started. I dropped a video on Daniel Bailey and John Paul Rivera who fought tonight.
All he spent time was talking about the Holyfield and
Holyfield and Bo.
all the time.
But all we talk about is Japanese. You know what it is? And I want to give myself a pat on the back because we do such great work here on True School.
Oh, that's funny.
We do such great work here on True School Sports covering boxing in Japan that people like that's becoming something I'm known for.
Yeah.
Like I had a dude call me, message me about going to fights in Japan. I had another person ask me about which prospects I think are good in Japan. So the work is so good that I'm getting criticized for it. So I'm happy. Thank you,
God
champ.
bless you.
And he says you don't give accurate information and you're biased. Okay, you made a claim. You said I don't give accurate information. State what information I gave that was inaccurate, and who am I biased against, and who am I biased for? You made a claim, so stand on that shit. Say it in the comments. You got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to say something, or I'm blocking you.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Now we got my man Marcus Nell. Shout out to Marcus. It's been a while with the super chat. He says, and make sure you guys go on Instagram. Make sure you guys go follow Ohio Runs Boxing. You know he does a great job covering all the fighters from Ohio.
Good.
And he gave me a super chat. He said, what did he say? He said right here, Don King is from Cleveland. He ran boxing. Al Haines from Cleveland, and he ran boxing. And now Jake Paul from Cleveland, and he is running boxing. Ohio is, hey, you can love Ohio. You can hate Ohio. You can overlook Ohio. But he did not say anything wrong. My boy Marcus, Ohio Runs Boxing, he did not talk at a turn.
You know I like what they from Cleveland.
Because all them guys is from Ohio, and they're
Mason brothers.
Mason brothers, they from Ohio.
They're some bad boys, boy.
You know what I'm saying? So Ohio has always had its place in boxing. Ohio has been here. They'll always be here, and they ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
He says, okay, here we go. So you met the deadline. He says, buddy, why do you put Japanese words in your title? I can't understand that. It's not for you. That's your problem. You think the whole world revolves around you and the like 2 or 3 fighters that you like. You know what? Do me a favor because I guarantee you if I ask him, if I say, no, I like these comments. They get me fired up. Yeah. All right. He says, I'm off the Henny, sir. Oh, okay. Then you know what? Then you get no more acknowledgement. You off Hennessy. You off the Hennessy, champ. You don't even listen. Okay. Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah.
You drinking what Nas drinks. You know. Over here talking about all I do is talk about Japanese fighters, unknown Japanese fighters. Yeah. And
somebody just recommended you.
I'm talking about Boots, and I'm talking about dudes that like are as black as the Ace of Spades. Yeah. Boots is from Osaka. But anyway.
Somebody recommended you just stop talking about Philippines and go to the Philippines. I mean, come on.
He said, yep, he's very biased. He hates Inoue and Bud, always talking about exposed. I hate Inoue. Look, I got it here. How do I hate Inoue, guys? Look,
you guys gotta
how is this hatred? Do you know who this is?
And so forth. Look at
how do I hate Inoue? I guarantee you, there's nobody in America who has this Japanese magazine Inoue.
He's trolling like.
So this is from look, 2013 is Inoue when he was a prospect, and it's on my wall. It's frames.
Yeah.
I hate Inoue. That's one of my favorite fighters.
I mean,
Now you mentioned Bud. You must have missed the earlier part of the live. I literally said, you know what? Let me give these guys Bud and Crawford their credit. I said, you know what? I've been too hard on Crawford and Bud. You know, in this fight, I still have my opinions. I don't think it'll be the most entertaining fight in boxing. I just think style-wise, it's two counterpunchers. I hope I'm wrong, but these guys went through a lot in their careers. You know, Crawford with the lawsuit to Chris Middendorf, Canelo with the lawsuit to All Star Boxing. They had some hardships they had to overcome early in their careers, and they overcame them. And they gave us a lot of great fights, and they gave me a lot of great content. So you know what? Maybe I gotta hone myself and give these guys the respect that they deserve, and just just hope for the best. Hopefully it's a great fight. But you missed that part of the live, so I'll make sure I clip it for people like you. I'll make sure I clip that part of the live and I'm putting it out as a video, so people like you can go back and watch it. You know,
Hell
cause
no. You can't make this stuff up, brother.
make this shit up. I love it. I love it though. He says, "Is that Inoue?" Yeah, that's Inoue. Random Japanese fighters. I ain't trolling. These debates are real. I mean, well, you sound like a fucking tard. You sound like a dumbass. You sound like a fucking retard. And you know what? And you know what? That's the Henny talking.
Yeah, so we'll talk like we sober.
That's crazy. I'm talking to you sober.
Yeah.
Right? I know you. I'm talking to you sober. So I mean what I'm saying. You sound like you sound retarded. Pops, what are your thoughts on Osaka versus Angola? That's right, guys. So it's not Philly versus Angola no more. It's Boots. Apparently, because Boots is Japanese now, is Osaka versus Angola. It's not Philly versus Angola no more.
Hell no.
Say it with your chest. All right.
It's crazy.
You know what? You're out of here. You're out of here. Fuck you.
You got.
Hold on. How do I block this dude? Fuck this guy. Get him out of here.
Oh,
He can go drink Hennessy, and he can go do whatever he wants to do. But he's got enough of my responses. Shout out to everybody here. It's True School After Dark.
Excuse everything.
Being biased towards Japanese fighters. You know, all we're doing is talking about random Japanese fighters.
Jake Paul, we talked about. Oh my God.
He said I'm so scary. Well, if you ever see me in real life, feel free to approach me.
Yeah. That's fun. You blocking him?
Yeah, I'm trying to block this dude. I'm tired of him. I'm backing him up. He's getting out of here.
Gone. See ya.
I'm tired of this dude.
Hell no. I want to see that Belanga Rosado fight, man. People don't want to see that. I want to see that fight.
Why want to see that fight? What's so enticing about Rosado versus Belanga?
I just like Rosado. Rosado's fought all kinds. Rosado's fought a lot of good fighters, and this would be the exclamation point. Him knocking the fuck out of Belanga would be great, you know. And it'd be a great fight for Puerto Rico, so it's good. And I don't get me wrong. Belanga gotta do something. I would like him to fight him. You know.
Question for you, Pops. We got a question specifically for you, Pops. He says, who do you think had the better left hook, Tommy Morrison or Joe Frazier? I think Morrison's left hook was shorter, faster, hit harder, but Frazier was the better boxer.
I'm with you on that one. I like Frazier. But Tommy
Morrison's left hook was crazy.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 months ago. I'm gonna say it was like 2 months ago. For some reason, when I was in Japan, I randomly decided to watch Tommy Morrison versus George Foreman, and I love that fight because, you know, Foreman is a puncher, Morrison is a puncher. You wouldn't think going into that fight that a guy like Morrison would box, but you know what? He was so respectful of George Foreman's power. He's like, you know what? I can't be fighting. I can't be trading with George Foreman. So he went in there and he just boxed him. So I got a lot of respect for Tommy Morrison. I actually years ago, I'm gonna say like 4 years ago, I interviewed Tommy Morrison Jr.
Yeah.
No, Trey Morrison. Yeah. Trey Lippy Morrison. He was he didn't really have the most successful career. He was tried his best, but he just wasn't at that level. But I had a great interview with him years ago, so go check that out if you haven't checked that out. Tommy Morrison is how Japanese animators imagine how Americans look. Yeah, he's pretty cut up. Why can't you understand that these guys are ducking Boots? It's not his fault. Lima is the only one to step out. Boots will clean out the 154 division. Listen, it sounds nice, and I hope he does fight the fights to prove that he can do that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Brian. Listen, I don't even care about fuck this 154 stuff. He should be fighting Brian Norman Jr. now at 47. That's my gripe. You want to know my gripe is? That's my main gripe.
I hope they
Everything, all this other 54 stuff
Yeah.
is it's
Look,
just
Jesse
it's just an add-on.
I'm gonna say 147.
But look,
I'm
Lima.
gonna
Look. Listen. Osaka versus Philly, the new rivalry in boxing,
Yeah.
right? Because apparently Boots is not from Philly. He's Japanese, according to the fucktard that was on the Hennessy. So, if we're gonna do Osaka versus Philly, then I just hope that Osaka versus Angola. I mean, not Philly. Osaka versus Angola. If we're gonna do that fight, then I just hope Boots goes and has a great performance. If you're gonna pick Lima, right, who is this great fight, then I hope that Boots goes in there and puts on a great performance. Because I'll tell you this, he can ill afford to go in there and even have a subpar performance or anything short of spectacular. He's getting destroyed by everybody because this is a ridiculous fight.
He better not go like I did with before the Karen fight. Yeah, we prepared for everything. We did everything right. We were ready for everything. And got in there. The first fight, Chase couldn't even cut off the ring to do something with him. The second fight,
You know what the irony of this is? You know what the irony of all this is like I'm not critical of Boots because I hate the guy. There's nothing to hate. He's a nice person. Like he's a nice person. He's got a great father. He's got a great family. He's entertaining to watch. I want to see him do well. But I'm not gonna sit here and call a chicken shit a chicken salad.
Yeah.
That's what we're not gonna do.
Yeah. We're not going to say, oh, that's great. Oh, yeah. No matter what, but if he fights this guy, okay, you guys can support him. You guys are from Philly. Y'all can support him. But I'm going to call it what I call it.
You're being too tough on him, man. BT, he's only 28, man, and it's wow. See, this is how you know boxing's in a crazy place.
Yeah.
He's only 28. That's prime years. This is the time where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be stepping up to the plate and making like legacy fights happen. He's only 28.
Well, what's he? I don't take care of things.
That means if he's only 28, that means he's less than a year away from being 30. Like, what are you talking about? He's only 28. I'm not being tough on. Okay, so you're saying you want to say Boots is this great fighter and this great talent, which many of us believe he is a great talent.
But he's not.
But I can't. So if I view him up here, I shouldn't hold him to the standards of somebody that I view up here. So I should treat Boots with the same standards as guys that are ranked 15, guys that's ranked 30. Don't you think Boots is a really good fighter? I think he's a really good fighter. I've seen him spar. I've been following Boots' career for about a solid 6 to 7 years now. I like him. I think highly of him. But and it's because I think highly of him that I'm very frustrated with his career.
Yeah. It's a big disappointment. It really is. I don't care.
And all I'm saying is, just win your fights. Look spectacular doing it. Because the last thing that he needs is to fight a guy like Lima, get caught the wrong way, get stopped or lose or win a controversial fight. That'll be the worst thing for him. So I'm hoping he goes in there and puts on a spectacular performance, because that's what he needs to do.
Everybody's just chirping, and nobody knows what's going on, but they're just chirping him up. I just stay in the background. What the fuck? Boots
is a great fighter that won't fight another. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. Like, please.
He's only 20. I don't heard it all now. I really heard it all.
Fucking Philly fans.
He's
man.
only 28.
Or Boots fans, they get their feelings hurt. They don't want to accept it.
I'm a Boots fan. Like
I'm frustrated because of that, but I'm gonna call it the way I call it.
Like I say for a lot of fighters, I love Boots Ennis so much that I tell the truth about him.
You gotta. You can't give credit to him like.
Everybody gave Virgil warm-ups to get used to, and he got clipped, and y'all still praise him. If you're saying that all I do is praise Virgil Ortiz, then you must not listen to what I say about Virgil Ortiz. I said that Virgil Ortiz got a gift decision against Madrimov, right? Or not Madrimov, Boachuk. He beat Madrimov.
Mm-hmm.
People say, the Mexican fans say, you hate Mexican fighters. So when I'm critical of Boots, the Philly fans say I hate Boots, and some of them that get really extreme will say you hate black fighters.
Yeah.
I say Virgil didn't beat Boachuk. They say you hate Mexican fight people. You hate this, that, and the third.
You can't win.
It's like, bruh, I don't have any problem with any of these. I'm a fan of both these guys. Like, why are you guys getting so up in your feelings?
It's the same thing with all these fights.
I gave Virgil shit for the Boachuk fight because I thought he lost. I gave Virgil shit for not stepping up to the plate to fight Xander Zayas because he's the B side on that equation. I'm giving Virgil Ortiz a hard time because his coach used to train Bakram Razaliev and they refuse to step to the plate and call him out, like, and really look for that fight. So Virgil is getting just as much criticism from as Boots. You're just not hearing it because you only hear the Boots criticism. You don't hear the Virgil criticism. I criticize Virgil because he fought what's that guy's name? Lawson, Frederick Lawson. Dude had a fucking brain aneurysm. The guy had a brain aneurysm. What are you talking about? I call everything out. I don't really care like you guys think that I care, and I don't care like you guys think I do. Why am I criticizing Virgil? Because he deserves it. Because he's trying to dictate terms to a champion. He's never been in a championship fight. He's saying he's double talking. I don't like double talkers. Be what you say you are. If you're saying that Xander is this and Xander is that, okay. Then it shouldn't matter where you gotta fight him at. You're not the champion. So go to Puerto Rico or Timbuktu or Alaska or Idaho, wherever you want, wherever Xander says, go there, beat him, get the belt, and then you can dictate. But he's not even trying to do that. He's trying to dictate as a guy who's never been in a world title fight. It's like, so he's gotten criticism for that. He's gotten criticism for the get decision in the Boachuk fight. I thought Boachuk beat him. He's getting criticism for not really actively seeking the Bakram fight when he should be, because his trainer trained Bakram, so he should know Bakram inside and out like a book. But they're not really going for that fight. They fight in Lubin. So I keep that same energy with everybody. The problem with boxing is a lot of you guys have your favorite fighters, and you think and you get your feelings hurt because you think I'm hating on these guys, and I'm not hating on these guys. Most of the time, I want to see these guys fight each other, and I think highly of them. Because I think highly of them, I hold them to high standards. And when I hold them to those high standards, you guys don't like it because you guys want me to agree with everything they're doing. And I just can't do that.
That's exactly what I said.
You giving Virgil shit for fighting the fight he did versus Boachuk is crazy. BT, both guys deserve praise. There was no loser that fight. I didn't say it was a bad fight, and I didn't say Virgil fought a bad fight. I just said he lost. You know what I'm saying? Mauricio Herrera went to Puerto Rico. How did that work out? How did it work out? He fought Danny Garcia and he got robbed.
No, I got to turn my phone back on.
Mauricio Herrera is not a puncher. Virgil can punch. So then you know what? Okay, if Virgil doesn't want to go to Puerto Rico, and if Xander doesn't want to give Virgil a shot right now, then you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna fight fights that they're gonna be in fights. They're gonna be in fights that maybe you guys do or don't want to see, and they're gonna try to win. And they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna build themselves up more. That's what's gonna happen.
How do I got to put my phone back on. That's why.
You're biased, dude. How am I biased?
Don't play the button.
But I want to know. I'm trying to figure out where's the bias coming from. Where's the bias coming from?
Yeah.
I like Virgil. I'm on record. I've said it many times. I said Virgil is such a great fighter, in my opinion, that I think he'll go to 160. He'll go to 160. And he will be the guy that is good enough to revive and bring some life to the middleweight division. I think at some point he's going to be a middleweight. So, that's hating. That's not. You can never get your point across with these high people. I never. I mean.
That's all right. It's part of territory.
Win or lose, Canelo Crawford. Who do you think Christian Billy gets the opportunity? I believe in Billy beats either. We can't even talk about Billy fighting them guys because Billy better just worry about beating Lester Martinez. He better worry about getting to that. But I like him, Billy. And Billy's a good fighter. He works hard. I believe he's WBC #1. I would like to see him get his shot because I feel like when I watch him fight, I don't get cheated. Like he's always a guy that steps up to the plate and gives fans a good action fight. Who would give him? I don't think either one of those guys fights in Billy. For what? Why would either one of those guys fight in Billy? There's no real reward in it for Canelo or Crawford. Yeah. PYP says I was looking for you at the Orlando card tonight. I'm not in Orlando. He says yeah, he's biased towards underrated fighters. Which ones? You guys are doing a whole lot of like, oh man, like please be specific. You gonna make a claim? Stand on it. Please stand on it. If you're saying I'm overrating underrated fighters, which one? I hate fighters, which one? I'm biased towards certain fighters, which one? You're racist, BT, towards which people? Stand on it. I want the criticism to be as specific as possible. Please.
That's what men do.
Give me that. Bakram had a tough fight with Colque, and you still have him as an unbeatable machine just because he punished Tim Tszyu, and y'all Didn't Bakram buzz his ass already? I can't even read that sentence. Doesn't even grammatically make all the way sense. Doesn't make sense all the way. When did I ever say Bakram was this machine? I never said Bakram was the number 154 pounder in the world. See, you're listening, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. Like, you're not really paying attention to what I'm saying. I never made Bakram out to be a killer.
Selective listening.
But you know who is making Bakram a big killer? This whole fucking division. Everyone. They're making Bakram a killer by not fighting him. I'm taking a more reserved approach. I'm like, you know what? Bakram is strong. Bakram can box. Bakram is good. Like, he got a champion. It didn't happen on accident. But I'm like, okay, let's see him fight someone better. I wanted to see Bakram fight Lubin. That was really the fight I wanted to see. And I was disappointed that Lubin didn't go fight him. You know, I wanted Lubin to fight Bakram because I thought Lubin had a chance. I actually think Lubin had a better chance against Bakram than he didn't have against Virgil. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that.
I want to get you on your skin. Don't pay no
No, I'm calm. I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
I'm passionate. I'm happy to be here. I'm talking boxing. It's fun, but like I'm not mad. Like,
you got selective listening.
shout out to my boy the Nobody. He says, "What are your thoughts on Floss versus Pete Dobson?" We talked about it a couple minutes ago. A good fight. Again, Pistol Pete Dobson. Respect to him. You know, he's a guy that has had some hardships in his career, but once again, he's showing you the theme of this channel is fighters who step up to the plate. So, win, lose, or draw. If you out here, you fighting tough fights, you giving it your best. You know, I will give you your respect. What I don't have time for is fighters who double talk. Right? Pete Dobson ain't double talk. He's fighting one of the more high risk low reward guys in the division. Floss is a guy that's right there on the come up as a contender.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was a guy. I'm hoping box rec, but like Floss was a guy that was losing some fights. Like his career wasn't supposed to get this far. To be honest, I mean, I gotta see what kind of shape Pete comes into. My thing with Pete is always like
in fireman shape.
Boxing shape.
Yeah.
Fireman shape is that's too many muscles. You need like lean, body mass, those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Pete, he's got to come in shape. If he comes in shape, which is a big if, he could outbox Floss. But honestly, knowing how Pete kind of is, I would say Floss is gonna beat him. But trust me, like, I love Pete Dobson as a person. I'm the one that helped him get the sparring for the gym in Japan. Like, I love the guy.
Yeah.
But he needs to really be at optimum shape if he wants a chance to beat Floss. Because like when you look at Floss's resume. This is the same guy that got knocked out by Janelson Figueroa in one round, not a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, though, he's pretty much been on a warpath.
Yeah.
He ain't lost since Figueroa. It's been 5 years since he lost. And he's beat some good fighters. Like, they matched him tough. He beat Brian Ceballos. He beat Jahai Tucker. He beat Luke Santa Maria. Those are all good fighters, guys that came to win. So, Pete Dobson, Pete gets discouraged about boxing sometimes because he feels like he should have got more out of it. This is your chance, brother. Like please,
another chance.
Please, Pete Dobson, like, step up to the plate and take your chance, please. I want to see you get everything you can out of your career.
Good guy.
Let me see. BT, why is it that the fans, when a fighter gets screwed, they blame the opponent who's hometown fighter for the judges messing up the scorecards? Why do they blame them? I mean, like, why do fans say? Because I know a lot of box fans will say, like, if a guy gets a good decision, they'll say that the fighter robbed the opponent, and the fighter can't rob the opponent. The judges robbed the opponent. I think just anger. I would just say the answer to that is anger.
I don't say Floss was good. Samson would have put on BBC. I don't want BBC.
If Floss was good, yeah.
Oh, you're undercover for BBC.
My man Crazy Blade says, I seen some flaws in the fight with Perez. Every fighter has flaws. All of them do. All of them. Even your favorite ones who you guys think are Jesus Christ himself, they got flaws. My favorite fighters got flaws.
Yeah.
It's not wrong. It's not bad to have flaws. It's just that who's gonna minimize their flaws? Who's gonna impose themselves and fight to their strengths the most? I'll tell you this about Xander. I don't think, like, personally, like, Xander, to me, he's a good fighter. I don't think he's a 10 in anything, but he's like an 8 in everything, pretty much. He's very well rounded and he's very consistent and he fights to his strengths. So we'll see. We'll see when he steps up. What are your thoughts on Johnny? And shout out again to nobody with the super chat. What are your thoughts on Johnny Beck versus Adamas? I don't really have any thoughts on the fight because it's not happening. But if they
fantasy fight.
if they were to fight, at this point it's a fantasy fight because them two is never gonna fight each other. What I'll say is that fight, if it were to happen, I think I don't know, Johnny Beck's he's been having a hard time missing the weight. So right now, if they fought, I'll probably lean towards Adamas by decision because Johnny Beck not really like making 160 healthily, and I don't think he's gonna knock out Adamas. Adamas too durable and too good of a fighter.
This blood prophet.
He says Boots don't have flaws. I'm sorry, BT. There's no weaknesses.
It sounds like a Philly fan.
I'm sorry, but
Philly bandwagon.
then please go back and rewatch. Go watch Karen and go watch his fight against Sosa. What was that guy's name? Who was that guy? Who was that guy that hurt his ass? That hurt Boots when he was a club show fighter? Do you even know about that? Did who was that? Who was that guy that no name that hurt Boots when he was a club fighter? Do you know his name? His last name was Sosa. What was that guy's name?
Spanish guy.
And listen, I know in boxing anything can happen. Like anybody can get hurt. I'm not trying to put down no fighters, but you saying he got no flaws? I'm telling you, he fought this guy George Sosa, 15-10 guy, and them guys be like, don't get it twisted.
You always say that.
Them 15-10, them guys with the crooked records, those be the ones you need to worry about because those guys can fight. But you tell me he got no flaws, but Boots, I've seen Boots hurt, I've seen Boots dropped, I've seen Boots have problem with movers, I've seen Boots get counterpunched. Like, he's got flaws. Like,
we train for everything.
He's a really talented fighter, but everyone has flaws. Floyd Mayweather, the best fighter I've seen in my lifetime.
Nobody's perfect.
He had flaws, but the thing about Floyd is Floyd fought to his strengths as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So that's why he kept winning. Is Keith Thurman being a champion good for boxing in 2025? I believe Keith Thurman will be the most American champion. This is Maharo. Is it good for boxing? It depends on who you ask. Now, if you ask me, I love Keith Thurman. I'm a Keith. Now, if you guys want to accuse me of being a fanboy, right? I would say I love Keith Thurman. I think he's awesome. I think I love like his interviews and how he talks and stuff like that. But Keith Thurman, I mean, if he could fight and stay active, it'd be good. Odds are he's probably not gonna stay active. So I would say probably not right now. But hopefully he makes it to the Fundora fight and he doesn't pull out because he's known for doing that, and I'm tired of it. So
yeah.
BT, how many more fights does Bam have with Eddie, and what makes sense for Jesse to go the Golden Boy?
Kumar, beat him.
I don't know how many more fights he has left with Eddie. As far as him with going the Golden Boy, I don't know if that makes sense for him because they don't really have. I mean, they got Sandoval who's lower in weight. They got Collazo who's lower in weight, but there's not really too many things I feel that makes sense for them. As far as Bam and Golden Boy, DDD community says, BT, have you heard about the possible fight between Philip Hrgovic and Ajit Kabiel? It seems ducking is out. He can't fight for the title. So Hrgovic is there, puts Hrgovic for the title out there, will be a good fight. I love it. I mean, listen, when it comes to Philip Hrgovic, he's never going to be the guy that gets the big fights on most occasions. He's going to have to fight. Like, think about it, right? He fought Zhang, who was a higher risk, lower reward guy. Before anybody really thought anything is Zhang, Hrgovic fought Zhang. He fought Joyce on short notice. He's fought some guys, the high risk, low reward guys. They were trying to get him to fight Frank Sanchez, who was another high risk, low reward guy. So here's another one with Kabiel. Good fight. I think that's a fight that could go very, very wrong for Hrgovic. I love that fight because it's a good fight. Like, I love good fights, and unlike a lot of you guys who are fanboys of certain fighters, I don't mind it. I don't care to see some of my favorite fighters lose. If they lose and they're not that good as I thought they were, then it is what it is. Like, life goes on. There's too many things to worry about in life than to worry about if my favorite fighter is as good as I think. Listen, you go in the ring, and that is the chamber of truth. That's where you prove who is who.
Yep.
Kabiel could beat Hrgovic. You can stop him. I can see it. Like, he works. He's consistent. He's a good body puncher. Hrgovic pulls straight out, and he gets real tall sometimes. So it's a good fight, man. Hrgovic wins that fight. You're talking about a 3-fight run of what? Joyce, Adelaide, Kabiel. I think that would be enough to warrant some consideration for a world title shot. So yeah, why not? And I think it'd be a test of his stamina. He's been up there with Big Bear with Abel Sanchez. getting his conditioning in order. You know, that's a good fight. I like that fight. Shout out to my man, the Nobody. He says, "What is next for Edwin De Los Santos?" That's man, you guys are asking tough questions because he was supposed to fight. I don't know, man. What is next for Edwin De Los Santos? I feel like that's a guy that nobody's exactly jumping up to fight.
Yeah.
And for good reason, because he's good and he can crack, and you know he's proven that he's at a good level in boxing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, maybe when Keyshawn Davis comes back, I would like to see him do that fight. Maybe do like him versus Lucas Body. I know Lucas Body's fighting tomorrow. Someone like that. De Los Santos isn't ranked anymore because he hasn't fought for over a year. So it is what it is. But I'm hoping he can go and get a big fight because he deserves it.
He's a good fighter.
Good fighter. Let me see. We got my man Split Decision Boxing. Did you see John Paul Rivera's fight? The finish? Yes, I did. Yes, of course I did. He fought a friend of mine, so I definitely watched it. Good fight. You know, just real composed, poised performance. I think for Rivera, it's the perfect learning fight because you got clipped in some spots. You know, Bailey was game, he was crafty, but Bailey has his chin straight in the air. Bailey, you know, chin straight in the air, relies on the reflexes too much, so he gave Rivera plenty of openings, and after enough time, Rivera took those openings. So, yeah, good fight, good building block fight for him, and looking forward to seeing what he does in the featherweight division, you know. Let me see. BT, Kenneth Lawler about to fight Landy. I can't even say that guy's name. For the IBF Eliminator in Craigston. Well, good, because Kenneth Lawler is probably my favorite Filipino fighter, you know, right now. I actually interviewed Bailey yesterday. Was sad to see him get fit. Yeah, I like Bailey. My dad's interviewed him. I've interviewed him. We know Bailey. Bailey's a South Florida guy. Good people. What we want to see him do well in boxing, and I still hope he can do well in boxing. But Bailey's problem is he relies on his reflexes too much, and you know, against a guy like Rivera, it was only a matter of time. But he had there's some building blocks in this fight. Like, I don't think it was a terrible performance. There was solid building blocks in this fight. It's just a matter of, can you clean up the weaknesses and magnify the strengths? That's all boxing is. When you get down to the nitty gritty of it all, can you clean up the weaknesses and magnify the strengths? That's life. You got anything to say, Pops?
No,
You getting
I'm
tired?
about to go to bed soon.
I'll go to bed soon, so
Yeah, you going to bed?
I'll probably go like 10, 20
All right.
minutes. And I'll
Good night, guys.
So, Pop's going to bed.
See you later.
See you later. Bye, Pops. See you.
All right.
All right. So we're here, True School After Dark, guys. We got a lot to discuss. You know, we talked a lot today. Wasn't planning. I wasn't planning on going live today. I'll stay on for like 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes, and then we can go wrap it up. Let me see. And by the way, guys, look. The only guy I'll say that I really don't apologize to was the guy earlier who was off the Hennessy talking crazy. He can go fuck himself. But the rest of you guys, even if you disagree or agree, you know, it's all good. It's all love. It's all boxing. Like, you know, just we're just passionate boxing fans like you are. So yeah. Crazy Blaze says, "Can we spar?" I don't know who you are, but you know, if you ever cross paths, where were you at? Who's my favorite fighter right now? I mean, I got a lot of fighters I like. Right now, my favorite fighters would probably be, I would say, Angelo Leo. I would say Brian Norman Jr., Kenshiro Taraji, Yugo Osaki. I like. I'm still a big Terrence Carter fan, even if it doesn't seem like it. He's still one of my favorite fighters. I'm a big Virgil Ortiz fan. I'm a big Ian Green fan. I like Beterbiev. I like Bivol. I like Teofimo Lopez. I get frustrated with these guys because I want to see them fight, and I think sometimes they get in their own way. But I'm fans of these guys. I'm sitting here, I'm talking about them all the time. There's a lot of them. Where am I located? Nah, I don't have to get my location. You're the one that asked for the sparring, so where are you located? Boots is from Osaka. That's what I'm saying. Boots from Osaka, apparently. BT, saddest Puerto Rican fighter loss you've seen and the best win. The saddest win, I would say, who was the saddest Puerto Rican fighter that got chopped up? I wasn't high on him, so I won't say Alberto Machado. I never had faith in Machado. I would say just like it wasn't a particular fight. It was just like the gradual but steady decline of Felix Verdejo. Felix Verdejo, like fight by fight, William Silva, and then all those fights he had on True TV. You know those fights, and then ultimately Antonio Lozada. Those fights right there really were like just his gradual decline was very depressing because I had hope for him. A lot of people had hope for him, but you know after a while you just knew that it wasn't gonna work out. So you know I would say that fight. Did I see Corey Marksman? Yes, I did. I like Corey Marksman. I've seen Corey Marksman fight now 3 times. A good fighter. he has the beard like Boots, and he even dresses like Boots. So I was joking around on Twitter. I was saying that Boots is fighting tonight, and it was funny. But no, a good fighter. Switch hits a little bit, athletic, can punch. I like him. I like him. He called out Lucas Body, and I like that fight because I feel like it'd be entertaining. He's gonna be in the pocket. He's gonna look for the fight. Body can punch. Body has a fight tomorrow on the Yankee Rivera undercard, so I'm gonna watch that, see how he does. And that's a potential fight for MVP promotion. So yeah, shout out to Corey Marksman doing his thing. He said, I'm 5'11", 170 with a 77. Oh, we can't spot you too big, champ. I ain't that damn big. I ain't that damn big, champ. What are your thoughts on Yoenis Telly's Abbas Barrow? It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Everyone's gonna get to look at Teles and see what he has for Boots, and this guy that he's fighting apparently, from what I've heard, is live dog. So I'll watch it tomorrow. See what happens. Teles is good, man. He good southpaw. He got a little power, good timing. If I was a boxer whose record achievement would I pick out of the current active fighters, I wouldn't want to be nobody. I would be okay to just be myself. I guess I would have to say the guys at the top. Usyk. I'll say Usyk or yeah, like probably Usyk, man. Usyk is going up and beating these dudes 50 pounds bigger than him, 40 pounds bigger than him, and knocking them the fuck out. So yeah, he said I'll drain down to 145. You don't want to do that, champ. That's not what you want. You don't want the problems. You don't want the problems, champ. What are my thoughts on Juanito Lopez's ceiling? I'm not as high on him as Top Rank. I thought he lost his second pro fight. He fought a dude out in Puerto Rico. I forgot his name, but he fought a dude in Puerto Rico and got a split in a was it 6-rounder or 4-rounder? I think a 4-rounder. And it's not even on YouTube. So if they're not putting the fight on YouTube, it's for a good reason. So I don't know, man. He's a good puncher. He's gonna be a fun fighter to watch. Maybe he wins a world title with good management, but I'm not as high on him as other Puerto Rican fighters. If I'm being honest, but he has his dad was a good fighter. He can punch, so it'll make for a lot of entertainment. A lot of good nights out. Yankee Rivera's future opponent versus Sandoval Ufai. If he wins tomorrow, let's go. Yeah, man. Yankee Rivera is a good fighter. He had that great fight with Andy Dominguez, which I really enjoyed. And he's managed by Peter Kahn, who I know really, really well. Let's see how he does tomorrow. I'm a bit disheartened because I want to see Sandoval get. I want to see Sandoval give Ken Shiro a rematch. When am I gonna work out the Christian music? Probably soon, man. Listen, man. Sometimes it's better to work out the Christian music. What's next for Nigel Lopez? It's a hell of a question. Probably another fight on Pro Box. Talked to Antonio Vargas tonight. It says he wants to either unify or fight Seiya Tsutsumi. Well, he kind of has to. He has to because Tsutsumi is a champion at Recess. Once he comes back, he's mandatory, so he's got to fight him. And that's a good fight. I mean, I would lean slightly towards Tsutsumi because I don't trust Vargas' durability. I thought Vargas beat Daigo Higa. I thought he was, he should have got the decision. They didn't give it to him. So, it's boxing. It's how it goes. But yeah. Is Carmel Moen ready for Lamont Roach at 130? That's a good question, man, because Floyd Mayweather was calling him out today, and that was a fight that they wanted to look into and explore. It's a hell of a question. Roach is a good fighter. I think Roach's stock is at an all-time high. I don't think Moen is ready. I've seen Moen in high. I'm not gonna. I've seen Moen in high-level sparring against a couple fighters. I think he should chill. I think they should chill out on that. But look, if Floyd Mayweather is willing to put up the money, and he believes in this fighter, then shit, why not do it? If they're gonna pay Lamont Roach, and Lamont Roach isn't gonna get paid for a fight more than he would for that fight, crush that kid's dreams, get some hype because Carmel Moen's got some clout, and go do that. But if he's got bigger fights that he can make, then make those fights. But I'm not against it. I'm okay with that fight, even though I think it might be a little too early. What went wrong with the four kings of lightweight that everyone said and failed miserably to fulfill that title, BT? I don't think it's necessarily anything that went wrong. I think all those guys got that praise too early in their career, so it's not fair to call, like, even if they were all making all these big fights happen over and over again, I don't think it's fair to put the four kings label on any four fighters. It's hard to live up to. It's hard for anybody to live up to the expectations of guys like Hearn, Hagler, Leonard, Duran. Those are like some of the best fighters of all time. I'm looking forward, like, years from now, like when Devin's career finishes and Shakur Stevenson's career finishes and Tio's career finishes and Ryan Garcia's career finishes. I'm looking forward to seeing like what became of all their careers in its totality, because they still got, all it takes is that one fight. It takes that one fight. You win that one fight, and the whole narrative on your career can change. So, they might live up to it. We don't know. BT with Philip today. The question is, do you believe the possibility of the pressure and unrealistic expectation got too much for him, with the Puerto Rican fans being unrealistic, thinking he would beat Tito? For him, yeah. I mean, look, it's hard when you get the Puerto Rican fan base behind you the way he was at that time. It's a lot. It's very hard to deal with. It takes a special type of person to deal with that kind of pressure. Fun fact, guys. Now, you guys may not believe this, and but this is a fact. In 2016, they had Crawford fight Hank Lundy, and they had Verdejo fight William Silva on the same card, New York City, Madison Square Garden Theater. Right. I remember at that time, I had talked to a couple people in the top ranked staff, and what they wanted to do, what their dream fight was for Verdejo, they wanted to do Verdejo versus Crawford. Once upon a time, for a very, very brief moment in time, top-ranked brain trust and top-ranked executives wanted the fight to be Verdejo versus Crawford. Now, obviously, they found out very, very fast that Verdejo wasn't on that level, and Crawford was very, very much way above his level. That's why their careers both turned out how they turned out. But ain't that crazy how boxing is sometimes? Like, nobody would ever think that a guy like Verdejo would have been in spitting distance with Crawford. But in 2016, for a brief moment in time, that was something discussed. Crawford was at 140, just freshly moved up from 135. Verdejo was at 135, but he was a big 135. So everyone knew that at some point he was going to be a 140 pounder. But that was a fight that top-ranked brain trust and top-ranked executives were looking to the future to make. But just Verdejo proved that he wasn't on that level, and Crawford, went to a really, really high level. So Carmelo got beat by the UK boxer Giorgio Viasoli in sparring, but who gives a damn? Sparring. I seen some of the best fighters in the world get their ass kicked by nobodies in sparring, so that don't mean anything. Sparring, guy could just have a bad day. Every fighter has a bad day. Virgil and Benavidez are the future of the sport. They got the best fan base. We'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, I like both guys. I think they're both got a lot of potential, but right now, if we're talking about American boxing, the only fighter I really believe in, like in American boxing, and obviously he has to win this big fight for him to actually get to this part, to get to a stage in his career where he can become a superstar, is the only fighter I really believe in is Brian Norman Jr. As far as if we're talking about being a guy that could be a flagship fighter, a guy that could really, really like move the needle. I really believe in Brian Norman Jr. I feel like he gives people what they want to see. He's very entertaining. He's in a great weight class. I'm a big believer in him. So we'll see. We'll see how he handles Devin. The Devin test will be, as far as big time boxing is concerned, it'll be like his biggest test to date. So How he handles that's going to tell us a lot. But they believe in him, and you know I've grown to believe in him. So we shall see. You don't think Virgil can be the face of American boxing? He can. He definitely can. But I mean, he's got Golden Boy Promotions behind him, and they know what they're doing. Um, but I don't know, man. There's not a lot of fighters I believe in. My man Locker says, I'm new. I like the content, very insightful. I'm curious, why did you ever compete? If not, why? No, I never competed. Because that was never really my ambition. I didn't walk into a boxing gym until I was like 18 or 19. My ambition to box was just to stay healthy. I wanted to. When I was like 18 or 19, when I was 18 years old, I was living in Texas. And I was going through a lot of turmoil in my life, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I got to a place where like I wanted to like off myself. And that's a fact. And I went to the boxing gym just as a release from shit I was going through in my life. And that's all it was for. It wasn't supposed to compete. I wasn't supposed to compete or anything like that. I mean, did I spar? Yeah, I did some sparring. Sparred some of the local guys that went pro and stuff like that. But yeah, that wasn't part of the plan, you know. But I love boxing, and I decided to cover it, and you know, and I think now I'm getting to a place where you know it looks like we're gonna jump in feet first into like helping these fighters out, and not just in training camp, but maybe like even guiding their careers. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's the long and the short of it. David can be a bigger star if he's bilingual. He can gain Mexican fans. That's his blood. Virgil doesn't know Spanish. Well, Virgil tries. He tried to speak Spanish one time after the Hooker fight. If you remember the post-fight interview. What are my thoughts on Rohan Polanco? Good fighter, strong, compact, good reflexes. I think if Brian Norman beats Devin Haney, I think he's gonna get a homecoming fight in Atlanta against Rohan Polanco, and I think that's gonna be a very explosive fight. Rohan Polanco has been in Broadway Joel's podcast talking too much trash about Norman Jr. I want to see Norman put him in his place. That's a great fight. I think it's one of the best fights in the division. What went wrong with Tank's career? Do you feel, BT? Do you think he will still, if he was still afloat, this Jake Paul fight would never happen or not? I don't think anything went wrong. It's just nothing's really went wrong. It's just it's going according to script. Like Tank has fought some good fighters here and there, but for the most part, he's always been a guy that has been in the safest matchups possible in his career. So it's very on brand. It's very on brand. He's always, and to be fair to Tank, he's never told you guys like, hey, I'm here to be the next pound for pound fighter, next great champion to follow in the footsteps of Sugar Ray Leonard. Like he's never said that or anything like that. He's always told you guys it's all about the money, right? So he's being upfront with you guys. So that's why I can't really work myself to get mad, because he's telling you guys who he is up front. So when somebody tells you and shows you who they are up front, you gotta believe them. Now, do I wish Tank would fight top guys? Do I wish Tank would be in there with other big names? Of course, I would love to see Tank in there with guys like Shakur and things like that. But that's not what he wants to do. So it is what it is. I feel you. Boxing is an outlet, a great outlet for me too. I get future Ariel Helwani vibes from you. Well, look, Ariel has made it very far in what he's doing, and he's at a high level, so I respect him. Thank you. Good compliment. I think my path's a little different than Ariel Helwani's, because Ariel Helwani is just going to be a strictly media guy. I'm not just a strictly media guy. I'm gonna be, and I'm already like involved in the sport. So you know, I'm taking a different path to him. But thank you. BT, I've noticed that with Dominican Republic, we're further behind in developing top level fighters compared to Cuba and PR. Why is that? Just time. I think over the years there's been more infrastructure and investment into the Puerto Rican system and Puerto Rican boxing, and I think boxing now is just starting to catch on to that. Hey, there's a lot of talent in DR, and they're making an investment, and they're bringing these guys here a lot earlier. So it's a far cry from the days of Juan Guzman and those kind of guys. So it's a good thing. But I just think it's just more so of a time thing. Puerto Rico and other Latin countries have had more time and investment in boxing, so that's why they're further ahead. Did you Did those guys who helped Angelo Leo versus Kameda win? I think the one was supposed to fight around that training camp. I forgot the names. You're talking about Joseph Maicedo and my boy Fernando Paredes. Yeah, they were part of the camp. They were part of the camp. They were part of this. And before that, we have Eric Lanzas Jr., who was part of the camp for the New Mexico part of it. I wasn't part of that part of the camp. I was part of the Japan part of the camp. But yeah, they helped. Do you think Canelo versus Benavidez saves boxing? I mean, it has to happen. If it doesn't happen, it can't do anything. I don't know, man. I mean, I think if the fight happens, it's still big. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Canelo versus Benavidez is still a big fight? I feel like the optimum time to make that fight was a couple years ago. I kind of feel like a little bit. It'll still be big, but it could have been more a couple years ago. Hyro says, how would Carmel and Keenan Valle look like, BT? Ooh, that'd be a good fight. It'd be a hell of a fight. I got to see more from Keenan Valle. I mean, we watched his 4-round pro debut. He seems to have a lot of talent, a lot of tools, and a lot of skills. I think right now Carmel probably beat him because Carmel's more advanced. But wait, are they? No, they're not even. Hold on, Hyro. They're not even close in weight because Keenan Valle turned pro at 122 super bantamweight. Carmel is like at 35, 40. Yo, Carmel is big. He's getting huge now. So that fight will never happen. Big. Raw Dog says Vegas has better infrastructure than Puerto Rico to put on a championship level fight. That's true, but the champion wants to fight in Puerto Rico, so go to Puerto Rico and beat the brakes off of him if you think you could beat him. BT, are there any young Dominican power punchers I should watch out for? You should watch out for what's that guy's name? The featherweight, Jan Santana, contender, really good fighter. BT, where do you see Africa in boxing stylistically and talent-wise? Stylistically, African fighters are very tough. They're normally always very raw. They have a lot of power, but they lack a lot of defense. As far as where they rank in the world, I mean, I wouldn't say Africa is a top 5 boxing nation or anything like that. But I think Africa will always have good fighters. They'll always have guys that are relevant. It's just hard. It's just hard for African fighters to win and progress in their careers because they're really so much against them. That's why when the African fighter breaks through, to me, it's the most organic success anybody can reach in boxing because they don't have nothing on their side at all. I was asking if those guys who helped Leo win, one was supposed to have a fight around that time. None of them have fought. Joseph Maicedo, the 122-pounder, can't fight because he's in a contract that he's trying to get out of. And then Fernando Paredes, one of the other fighters, he's about to go to camp soon. He has a Stay Busy fight coming up, so that's where they're at. And I'm sure I'll get a call here soon to be part of camp. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to camp for Angelo's next fight yet, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what God has in store. Do I think ESPN will get into boxing again? Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. I think ESPN has been abused a bit by boxing. Top Rank had plenty of opportunities to push the sport forward on the platform, couldn't really do it. PBC, same thing before Top Rank, couldn't really do it. So I think ESPN is gonna have to see boxing is gonna have to show itself to be a viable, massive sport in America for ESPN to want to invest again because they've invested and invested and invested, and they're not getting their returns. That's why ESPN boxing is not on ESPN no more. BT, do you think the Dominican Republic and Cuba are having this revolution when it comes to developing fighters, where instead of being defensive first guys, you're now seeing more power? Yes, I think so. I think the philosophies and the philosophies of those countries really is it's different now because they're realizing that in order to succeed in the pros, you have to have a pro style. So you're seeing more of those fighters come into the pros with the pro style earlier, and it's boding very well for him. Look at Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz could have had a Cuban trainer in Miami or trained somewhere else in Cuba, and just been have a traditional Cuban style. But he said, no, you know what? The pros is different than the amateurs. I want to go train with the American fighters and develop that pro style. So he went to Philadelphia. He got in contact with Jerron Ennis and whatnot, and I think it served him very well. Andy Cruz had a great transition to the pros because of the training in Philadelphia, training with top fighters like Bozy Ennis and Boots and them guys. Shout out to my guy Carl Hansen, my main man in the land down under. He says, "BT, what up, bro? Hope you and Pops are well. Much love from down under, and much love to you, man. Shout out to Australia. I got a special place for the Aussies. The fighters and the people. I've said this many times, man. Being involved in boxing all these years, it's given me a chance to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different cultures, and I gotta say, the Aussies are some of my favorite people in the world because they just cool, man. They're relaxed, they're carefree, they don't take nothing too serious. They're fun to be around. So shout out to you, Carl. Hope all is well. Have I seen Terremoto Jr.? I like him as a prospect. He's been doing what a prospect should be doing right now. Yeah, big time prospect. I've seen him fight a couple times. I haven't really made any videos about him. I haven't really like studied him deep. I just know he had a big amateur background. He's pushing about 6'6", 6'7". He's part Samoan. Those Samoans are really strong and tough. So he looks like one of the guys that Matchroom was gonna try to build around for the future. So yeah, shout out to him. Any thoughts on Andre Ward wanting the AJ fight? Why are people acting like AJ is not that guy anymore? I made a video about it. I feel like, you know what? If Andre Ward wants to come back, give him what he's asking for. Let him fight AJ. But if he gets knocked out the ring, nobody should feel bad for him because he's been talking for years about that fight. If it happens, I guess cool. If not, I don't really care. But I just feel like with Anthony Joshua, people hate Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua was the golden boy of British boxing. So they say things like Anthony Joshua sucks. Anthony Joshua was a bum. Anthony Joshua soft. But in my opinion, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Was Anthony Joshua all-time great heavyweight? No. But Anthony Joshua fought Vladimir Klitschko in his 16th pro fight. And he stepped up to the plate and fought a lot of good fighters, man. A whole lot of good fighters. Joseph Parker. He fought you guys like Dillian White. He fought Povetkin. He fought Usyk, a couple times. He won some. He lost some. He got exposed a couple times. But you know what? It's part and parcel of the game. I feel like Anthony Joshua has been a net positive for boxing. He's been good for the sport. And truth be told, there's not many fighters that I'm going to miss when they leave the sport. He'll be probably one of the few guys I miss when he leaves the sport. Not because I thought he was this all-time great or anything like that, but because he was actually good for boxing. So... How's our brother Angelo Leo doing? I love seeing you guys celebrating his win. Oh, he's doing well. I haven't talked to him in a little bit. I messaged him the other day, but he's doing well. He's doing well. Getting ready for the next fight. From what I've heard, I don't know if it's true, so I gotta call him and ask him. But it sounds like we might have an opponent locked in. It's not a big name because featherweight's on some bullshit right now. You got. Guys wanting to move up, guys not wanting to unify, guys turn down fights. So it's we just fought a mandatory. So we're gonna do this voluntary and hopefully be God willing, just keep winning. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had a crazy run up into Arias. I'll have to watch the video you made on Andre. Well, yeah, go back and watch it, man. It was I'm not now, to be honest with you, just being honest, I've never been a big Andre Ward guy. I felt like to me it's kind of hilarious when I see everyone act like it's crazy to see everyone act like they're this big Andre Ward fan in his post-retirement, but really and truthfully, when he was fighting, he didn't have fans like that. He did not. So it's funny when everyone acts like they're big fans of Andre Ward, because when he was fighting, he was not. There was not no big Andre Ward fan base. It's I feel like it's kind of like fake love. Iron Man 305 says, "Yo, this is Chastity Martin. I'm trying to up with you. I got something for you." Chastity Martin, the Queen of Pompano. What's up, Chastity? How you doing? Yeah, I remember Chastity Martin, good fighter, woman's fighter. I interviewed her years ago. Yeah, just I'm on Instagram or Twitter or email. You can go on my page and go find my social media there. Just message me, get in contact with me. What are your thoughts on Sam Goodman versus Nick Ball? I thought Sam Goodman actually won. I thought he won. I scored at 115, 113. If it would have been 115 and 113 the other way, I would have been okay. If it would have been a draw, I would have been okay. I feel like the scorecard is very unfair, and I feel like even though he lost and he may not get the credit he deserves from everyone, at least with me, I feel like Goodman redeemed himself because a lot of people, myself included, they was dragging Goodman through the mud for pulling out the NOA fight 2 times, right? And so I feel like in this fight he showed that he's still one of the best fighters in and around 122 and 126. He showed a lot of skills, body punching, boxing wise with his legs, good defense. I mean, really good fighter, man. Really, really good fighter. That's a great win. Sam Goodman did look pretty good against Ball. I thought he won. I really thought he won. It was close, but they were. I already knew though. I'm not stupid. I knew they weren't gonna go ahead and just give. They weren't gonna give Sam Goodman a win in a close fight when Nick Ball is the only British world champion in boxing. Nah, man. No one knew how good Sam is. He's world level. I've always thought highly of Sam. That's why I was mad when he put out the NWA fight. I thought, and I still do think, because eventually those belts at 122 are going to go vacant. I think Sam Goodman can still win a world title. Very, 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 very skilled fighter. Tough. When he's in the ring, when he's not getting cut in sparring and can make these fights, he's very tough in that ring. He's got honest power. I wouldn't say he's an elite puncher, but he's got honest power. And he's a sneaky little body puncher too. So that's probably the best win on Nick Ball's whole resume, in my opinion. Yo, y'all are being mean now. Like I don't like Andre Ward, but y'all are being mean. He said Andre Ward had a church in Oakland, but that flopped too. I'm not gonna. Listen. Anybody who's out here trying to spread the word of God, I can't hate on them for that. Even if it's Andre Ward and I wasn't a fan of him as a fighter. Anybody out here who's trying to spread the word of God and spread the good news, I gotta tip my cap to him. I can't hate. He says, "Oh, Raymond Ford." Yeah, I would say it's a better win than Raymond Ford because Ford, by his own admission, the night he beat Komatov, said that he was weight drained and that he wasn't gonna stay at featherweight. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, this guy wasn't weight drained. Ford was. Some people don't even rate. Some people think Ford is overrated. Not me, but I'm saying some people think Ward is overrated, or Ford is overrated. So I like the Goodman win more. I feel like Goodman, from a psychological standpoint, was in a better place and came to win more than Ford. Ford, I think Ford did. He took that fight for the money. He probably underestimated Ball a little bit, and that's why he lost. And Ball outworked him. But yeah, I would say, in my opinion, Goodman is the best win of Ball's career. What did Hyro say? Do you think that Zoltan Zarabak could be Sugar Nunez? Oh my God, that's a fight. Yo, yeah, y'all want to talk about fights? You guys know I like explosive fights. That's an explosive fight. You want to talk about punchers? You want to talk about dudes who are really gonna go in there and scrap? Sugar Nunez versus Zarabak is one of them fights at 130. I think he could be Sugar Nunez. I think he's a very good mover. He's slick. He's got some defense. I think he could be Sugar Nunez. That's a hell of a fight. I don't think Ford is that great. I was just wondering your opinion. I don't think Ford is great. I think he's very good. I think he's good. He's above average. I think he had one moment of great. He had one night of greatness against Komatov, which I will always give him credit for because I picked against him. And anybody who followed the content and the build up on this channel for that fight knows that Raymond Ford was getting at me on Twitter. He was getting at me on Instagram. He was really like pissed off. I feel like honestly, I helped Raymond Ford get to another level in that fight because I thought I graded Komatov very highly as a fighter. I still do, and I just thought that based on what I had seen to that point in Ford's career, that he wasn't gonna have the answers, but he did have the answers. So good for him. All right, guys, I'm gonna go 5 more minutes. And I'm gonna get up out of here because it's late. It's late, man. We give you guys almost back-to-back 3-hour lives. I took a day off, give you guys damn near another 3-hour live. You gotta stop acting like Raymond Ford is punched like that. I feel like Angelo moving up has more power than him. Very possible. I don't think Ford's problem is punching power. I mean, he's not a single shot power puncher. He's an accumulation power puncher. He's a speedy power puncher. His problem is, I think he just, these guys that he's been fighting are not on his level, so he gets a big stop it, a big knockdown, or hurts these guys early, and he coasts the rest of the fight. I think he is one of the many fighters in boxing that fights to the level of his competition. You know, so Komatov could be a champion right now. Yeah, like look, Komatov is not getting the fights that he should be in because Top Rank has invested money in certain fighters, and they know if they put them in there with Komatov, there's a good chance that he's gonna go ahead and they're gonna lose, and their investment goes up in smokes. But like, if Komatov fought like a guy like Bruce Carrington, I think Komatov could beat Carrington. I think Komatov could beat certain guys in the division. They're not matching him against those guys. Angelo hits harder than Ford. Based on what I never seen Raymond Ford. I mean, Raymond Ford, he can punch a little bit, but I never see him knocking nobody out with one punch. Maybe he breaks them down. Maybe he's sharp, but never with one punch. So it's possible. Komatov was beating him. He only lost due to his knee injury. That is true, but even before the knee injury, Ford was holding his ground in the pocket. He was counter-punching Komatov. He did a lot of great things in that fight. That was, like, I've been waiting for that version of Ford to show up again, but he ain't showed up again since that fight. So I keep saying, like, yo, do I got to start talking good about the other opponents so you can perform to your best again? Like, question, why do you think the Kazakh style is being successful in pro and amateurs? Is it because they are still developing? I think it's successful because the Kazakh style, in comparison to the other Central Asian countries, is it allows more flexibility. Like the Uzbeks are too robotic. I feel like they actually teach their fighters how to turn their punches over, and they punch through the target. And a lot of their, I don't know what it is about, I don't know why, but Kazakh fighters, they're more athletic than the Uzbek fighters. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe somebody who's smarter than me can tell me why. But the Kazakh fighters always seem to be a bit more slicker and more athletic than the Uzbek fighters. Did Devin Haney have the easiest route to the undisputed in the four-belt era? I mean, some people may say Terence Crawford had an easier route at 140. I mean, for me, he beat Kambosos, right? He beat Kambosos, so it's possible. He's in the running. Yo, shout out to my boy Johnny. He says my style is the one. My favorite style is the one that wins, and he's saying that. Is that a quote from Miguel Leo, the master genius trader extraordinaire? If that is from Miguel, shout out to Miguel. I love Miguel. It's one of my favorite people in the world. You know. W stream. Yeah, you know what's funny, guys? I didn't even plan on going live today. You know, every now and then I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go live. I get in these moods sometimes, but you know, I was professional today. I went live, so good. I've been giving you guys these lives pretty consistently, so hope you're enjoying them. BT, if Komatov took it safely in that last round and kept his distance, he would have won 100%. Yes, but he didn't. Like we can't like, again. I'm a big Otabek Komatov fan. I've seen him spar over 100 rounds in person. I've seen Otabek Komatov butcher dudes in the gym. He's still, in my opinion, one of the most dangerous guys at featherweight and one of the most vicious fighters in the featherweight division. But I can't sit here and say like if he could have, would have, should have. When you get under the ring, when you get under the lights, it's not about could have, would have, should have. It's about what you did. Boxing's a results-based business. They don't care if you have problems with your girl, nobody gives a fuck. If you injured your knee, nobody cares. If you tore your bicep, nobody cares. You know, it's a results-based business. And you know, if you get injured, sure, people may feel bad for you. They may say, "Oh, you know, we're sorry that happened to you. Hopefully you get healthy." But you know what happens to fighters that don't go above and beyond the call of duty in boxing? They fade into obscurity and they get forgotten about. The great ones, the ones you remember, your Alis, your Johnny Tapias, your Diego Corraleses, your Ricardo Lopez, your Naoya Inoue's. You know, the great fighters of history are the ones that go above and beyond the call of duty. You know, sure, you can dish it, but can you overcome when shit gets hot in the ring? Can you take it? That's when you know a fighter is great. You know, your Mayweathers, you know, these guys, the fighters that go above and beyond the call of duty. So look, I like Odebek, but unfortunately, yeah, he got a knee injury. He did hurt his knee. He did break his knee, but he could not go above and beyond the call of duty for that last moment, and for that reason, he lost. So no excuses. He lost. Credit goes to Raymond Ford. Tell us who got beat up in sparring. No, I don't do that. I don't do that, guys. I know plenty of guys that got beat up in sparring. I've seen some of your favorite fighters. Sometimes I sit here and I be looking at the chat and I see you guys hyping up certain fighters and I'm like, man, you guys think that guy is really like that? Okay. And I saw them get beat up in sparring. But I don't come on here and talk about sparring. And truth be told, if I could be honest with you, I don't really like put the most stock into like sparring because I understand that there are certain fighters that are great in the gym that suck under the lights and certain guys that suck in the gym and that are great under the lights, you know? So one guy I will tell you what I can disclose with you guys, to give you an example, one guy that I've seen spar who I don't think is all that great in sparring, but I think has been amazing under the lights in his career, is Teofimo Lopez. I've seen Teofimo Lopez spar a couple times, and he's had some pretty underwhelming sparring sessions against guys that you would think he would just handle. But it's sparring. It doesn't matter what you do in sparring. You don't get paid for what you do in sparring unless you're a sparring partner. But if you're a world champion, if you're a guy like that's on that top level, all of it is about what you do under them lights. So that's what counts. Johnny says like Brian Owen when he loses. Johnny, I'm so serious, bro. I'm gonna tell you on this live what I tell you when we talk on the phone. If you see Devin, tell Devin to stop talking. Stop talking. He's gonna get hurt badly, very badly, very 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 badly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not one of them guys you play with, and they're coming prepared. So I hope that they're not overlooking Brian Oman. I hope all this bullshit he's been saying in these interviews about, oh, I don't know who he fought. I don't know those guys. He's trying to downplay his resume. Okay, you just make sure you prepared, because if you think you're just gonna circle the ring and not have to fight Brian Oman Jr. at some point, you're in for a rude awakening. And a lot of people in boxing, especially Johnny, because Johnny won't shut up. A lot of people in boxing are going to be in for a very rude awakening when they find out how skilled Brian Oman Jr. is. He's more skilled than you guys realize, and I'm so happy. Just make sure you guys give Brian Oman his credit. When he goes and he stops Devin inside 7 rounds, make sure you give Brian Oman Jr. his just due. He says, "Wow, that's really interesting." Yeah, there's a lot of guys. Man, I seen guys. I'm telling you guys, I seen some guys that have lost all their big fights on TV, beat the dog shit out of world champions in sparring. That's why I don't put no stock in it. I've seen fighters that are bad in both. There's fighters that are just trash, like they're bad in sparring and they're bad in the fights. They don't have no good. Those guys exist too. Why are you guys not giving Devin a snowball's chance of hell? I am giving Devin Haney a chance. He's a good fighter. He can box. I'm just more so talking to Johnny, because Johnny, he's my personal friend, and he be talking crazy about Brian Oman Jr. And I'm trying to tell you, you're not listening and you're not getting it. That's the same way I told you about other fighters. You don't listen, so you're gonna have to find out the hard way in November. But no, Devin's got a chance. I think Devin obviously, he's gonna use his legs a lot in the fight. He's gonna try to box to his strengths, use his jab, those kind of things. But where Devin is gonna ultimately win or lose the fight is he's gonna have to have an answer in the pocket, because he's gonna have to fight in the pocket at some point in that fight. And if he does not have an answer, if he can't at least hit Norman hard enough to get his respect, he's gonna get packed up. And would you start giving Devin credit when he starts walking him down? Listen, man, if he walks down Brian Oman Jr., I'll put him on the pound for pound list. I'll put him number 9 or 8 pound for pound. If he beats Brian Oman Jr. and I see him walking him down, I will put Devin Haney number 9, number 8 pound for pound. And I'll start saying that I don't want to hear about Shakur. I don't listen. If I see Devin Haney walk down Brian Oman Jr., I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna talk about Devin Haney in a whole new regard. You're gonna start thinking I'm a Devin Haney fanboy if he walks down Brian Oman Jr., because I don't think he's gonna do that. Hell no. Shout out to my boy Felipe. He says, "Damn, you on right now." I didn't plan on it, Felipe. I was watching the fight on the Zone, and I didn't go live yesterday. I felt bad for not going live yesterday. So I said, you know what, BT, nah, man, you can't have 2 days in a row. You can't be doing this. You trying to get to another level, so you got to go ahead and be professional and do it, no matter how you feel. So that's why I'm here. Are you more fanboy than I'm not a fanboy, right? There's past the victory for Devin. I'm not saying Devin can't beat Brian Norman Jr., but again, at some point in time, he's gonna have to get his respect, and I just don't think Devin has the artillery to get Brian Norman's respect. I don't even think he can. He's not more athletic. He's definitely not more athletic than Brian Norman Jr. Hell no, and he's definitely not punching harder than Brian Norman Jr. So the good thing about it is there is some clear advantages for Devin Haney, and because of that, Devin Haney is gonna have to go to some places he hasn't gone to win this fight. And when you're a fighter and you have to go to places in training to win some fights, that can produce something special. If I know Johnny's watching this live, I think he's with Miguel Leo, according to what he said earlier. They know from the Venado fight. Like sometimes you need to be in a fight where you got some clear disadvantages to go to another level in training, to go to another level in preparation, and these kind of things. And I think that's that's potentially what could be happening here for Devin. I'm not writing him off, but I think he's getting packed the hell up, if you ask me. There's a reason why Devin's sparrings are always against smaller guys. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, Devin Haney, he wins this fight because, in my opinion, like, if we're talking about guys like Shakur, if we're talking about a guy like Tio, a guy like Tank, a guy like Ryan, truth be told, while I give Devin Haney his just due, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Devin Haney, none of them guys have been in a fight like this. And you may say, like, well, BT, what do you mean? Like, Tio fought Lomachenko. These guys fought better fighters or bigger names than Brian Norman Jr. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're more dangerous fights. Like, Norman is a bigger fighter than Devin in terms of, like, his frame. He's a harder puncher than Devin. He's younger than Devin. And Devin Haney is moving up in weight to fight the number one guy in the division. Shakur has not done anything like that. Tank has definitely not done anything like that. And Tio did beat Josh Taylor, right? And I do give him credit for Josh Taylor, but that was kind of coming off the heels of the Catterall fight, so people don't really give that one the credit it deserves. I think it's a great win, but in my opinion, none of those guys have been in there with a guy who's younger than them, bigger than them, and stronger than them. So therefore, I think Devin Haney deserves a lot of credit for taking this fight. Now, we still got a long time from now till November 22nd. It's a long time between now and November 22nd. So there's always a possibility that Devin Haney could pull out, that Norman could pull out. We'll see. I'm just praying both guys make the fight healthy. My man Raw Dog says that nobody picks Tio over Josh. You're wrong. I didn't pick Tio over Josh, but I know Sean Tatel picked Tio over Josh. I vividly remember being in Sean Tatel's kitchen at his house in Vegas. He was telling me about Tio was gonna beat Taylor. He said, bro, as soon as you said I picked Josh Taylor against the field, I just thought he lost to the whole field. Johnny picked Tio over Josh. I mean, a couple people picked Tio over Josh, but yeah, most people picking Josh. And I was. If you want to accuse me of being a fanboy for a fighter, I would say I was a Josh Taylor fanboy. I love Taylor because he was a fighter. I'm a fan of fighters who step up to the plate and take on dangerous fights. And Josh Taylor's one of them guys. He fought Regis Prograis in his prime. He fought Ivan Baranchyk in his prime. He fought a lot of guys in their prime. Ramirez in his prime, And you can say it's easy to say now that these guys weren't that good. They sucked. They lost to this guy. They lost to that guy. But he fought them when they're at their best. There was no waiting around. There was no marinate. There was no I'm gonna go to Scotland and defend the belt. No, just tough fight at the tough fight at the tough fight. And he made boxing on this channel very fun for me to cover. So therefore, he became a favorite of mine. B Norm is most definitely no Regis Prograis. He's so much better. Yeah, but let's be real too. Like, I picked Devin to beat Prograis easy in that fight. That wasn't a hard fight to pick at all. Prograis wasn't even Prograis after Taylor. Like, I think the Taylor fight was the end of Prograis and Taylor. Like, as far as them operating at the peak of their powers. Taylor still has good performances, but he never really fought as well as he did in the tournament. After that. Prograis was very slick, had great upper body movement in his prime, but he never really had no feet. So you compare Norman at this stage of his career to the version that a Prograis that Haney fought, bro, it's not even close, bro. The Norman that fought about to fight Devin, if you put him in the ring against the Regis that fought Devin, yo, he's getting, he's getting packed up in like 3 rounds, three or four rounds. Prograis is getting put out. And Johnny said, but unfortunately, that's why Josh fell off. Yes, that is true, but I can't get mad and I can't make any disparaging remarks about him. He came to boxing. He stepped up to the plate. He became the first undisputed Scottish world champion in boxing history since the legendary Ken Buchanan. His name is forever up there in box history with Ken Buchanan. Even though you can make the argument that, he's probably not as good as Ken Buchanan. That's fair enough, but he's boxing royalty where he's from, and he did a great job representing the sport and being a great champion, and always giving the 140 division something to talk about, whether he won or lost. How does Norman stop Haney under 7 rounds, BT? Body shot, headshot, or TKO? Headshot. And I'll say straight right hand. He gets different types of knockouts. Like sometimes you see Brian Norman, like when he fought Santion, he knocked him out with a right. It was left hook. Yeah, and then it was a right uppercut. When he fought Cuevas, he knocked him out with the 2-1, the straight right hand, and then the jab, and then Cuevas just quit. And then with Sasaki, it was the counter left hook to the head. So I think because the Sasaki knockout is so much in everybody's heads, Devin is gonna game plan to look for the left hook. And you know what's gonna happen? Devin's gonna be holding the phone, and when he's holding the phone, what punch do you think is gonna come down the center? It's gonna be the straight right hand. So I think this is the fight when Norman gets a knockout. It's gonna be with my favorite punch in boxing, the straight right hand. Norman is more complete. He has very slight head movement, and he's got a wide punch selection, and he's got a very underrated jab. Y'all are gonna see. For those that don't believe, y'all are gonna. I cannot wait. There was a fight. If y'all want to know what fight I'm excited for on the calendar, it ain't Crawford Canelo. It ain't Jake Paul Tank. That's the fight I'm looking forward to because a lot of people are gonna get a big reality check. I can't wait. And it ain't gonna be me. It's gonna be everyone picking Haney. But what about the resumes, BT? We all know Lord Devin Haney have faced better competition. That doesn't matter. All those guys he fought were 40 and 135. That's number one. And number two, really, the last puncher he got hit by was Ryan Garcia. And they can play it off like they don't have a loss, but we all saw it. And there's still some demons exercise there that I don't think he really had to exercise against Jose Ramirez. A lot of times in boxing, it's not about resumes, right? Because there's been plenty of times where a guy with the worst resume fought another guy with the better resume and he lost. Dimitri Bivol literally fought like nobody before he fought Canelo. He fought Umar Salamov and Craig Richards and these kind of guys. Canelo fought Floyd. Canelo fought Golovkin. Canelo fought these guys. Did it matter when they fought? No. Canelo got exposed. He lost. Right? So there's a million examples I can give you of a guy who fought a star or a guy with a bigger name who had better names on his resume, and he beat him. That doesn't matter. Timing is everything in boxing. Sometimes it's not about who you fight, but when you fight them. And right now, if this fight would have happened, like let's say a year ago, before Norman had a chance to get all this experience in big fights, going to Japan, fighting Santion in enemy territory, defending his belt. Like now he's got confidence. He's growing into himself, right? So now it's like you really dealing with something like a big problem on your hands. And let's be real, Devin don't look like a confident fighter right now. He don't look like a confident. I don't think he really believes half the shit he's saying in his interviews. But if he does, so be it. We'll see who's winning and who's losing. Who's lying, who's telling the truth come November 22nd. So I'm excited for it, man. But yeah, True School After Dark, everybody's favorite boxing program. Make sure you guys smash that like button, super chat. Yeah, Hyro said it's been more than 5. I'm having fun, man. I'm enjoying myself. I'm building my stamina. A lot of people are like, "Yo, BT, why don't you go live no more?" Like, bro, these lives. It's like building stamina. Like, I'm building my stamina right now. So for when I go live for actual fights, I can go 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Give you guys back-to-back 3-hour lives. So let me be. Devin always fought smaller competition until he fought Ryan. Exactly, and he's not. And Brian Noman ain't smaller than him. Brian Noman's a grown ass man. Brian Noman is really punching like that. Listen, guys, I've seen Boots in the gym. I've seen Norman in the gym. I've seen Haney in the gym. I've seen a lot of fighters in the gym, whether it be hitting the bag, whether it be sparring. I'm telling you guys, bro, you can choose. You can choose to believe me or not. Brian Noman is really punching like that. Like he's. I should have had to tell you. I really should have had to tell you. No, listen. I'm not one of these YouTubers that's gonna hate on a fighter. If you listen, if you go out there as the underdog, and you beating fighters in spectacular fashion, you get credit. Like I give all the credit in the world if I'm wrong. In fact, the quickest way to make me a fan of you is for me to think that someone's gonna beat the brakes off of you, and then you prove me wrong. You know, then I gotta be like, damn, this guy's really like that. So, who cracks harder, Norman or Boots? Norman for sure. Boots has got a lot of speed, but he's an accumulation guy. He ain't gonna kill you in one shot. Brian Norman can kill you in one shot. Boots is super fast though. Like he's so fast and like he just does shit that you can't teach. Like the way he switches, the way he pivots, the way he shifts mid stance. Like he does a lot of things that make him very very difficult to figure out in the ring. But one thing about Boots, he relies on his athleticism too much because I feel like with him, if you're a fundamentally sound fighter that can offset some of his athletic ability and get to him, you could hurt him. So yeah, but if we're just talking about in terms of pure punching power, oh my God, Brian Norman is punching harder than Boots. And I know you guys don't like hearing me talk about this guy, but the guy that Norman knocked out in his last fight, that's probably like one of the top 3 hardest punches in the division at welterweight. That being Jin Suzuki. You go back and you watch that fight. There were times where Jin would hit Brian with a left hook and Brian would take a step back because Brian had to respect his power. It's not too many guys punching like him at 47. He just has no defense, right? He got no defense. He's a little undersized for the weight class, but he can punch. So yeah, there's that. But guys, look, on that note, I've given you guys 3 hours. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna go ahead and end this, but before I end it, man, thank you guys so much for the support. Y'all are what keeps me going because sometimes, you know, like this boxing should be discouraging. It just be discouraging sometimes, like stuff I got going on in boxing and don't have going on in boxing. But you guys keep me going, and it's really fun. And a lot of, like these lives, believe it or not, they're like therapeutic. Like they're becoming very. They've always been therapeutic, but these days they're becoming like extra therapeutic. So I'm very appreciative to you guys, and I'm hoping that you continue to enjoy the lives. So yeah, you guys take care. God bless. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.